Here we are.
Hey.
We're back.
We're back.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 of No News is News.
No news is news.
What?
Means there's no news, but also that all news that isn't news is news.
It's whatever you want to interpret it to be.
That's where we cut the intro and we...
Yeah.
And now we're back from intro, right?
Or unless this is the intro now.
Whoa.
What's it
Did you
gonna
just
be?
steal it from me? Did you? I don't know. Depends on who's editing.
All right, so it's another week, and last week, we had the migrants, and the week before that, we had the Queen. So, what is tonight going to be all about, Alex? What do you think it's going to be all about?
I don't know. I know that we had discussed talking about the difference in the audience volume between Jimmy Fallon and Trevor Noah.
Yeah, so maybe this will be the clue as to what this episode is going to be about.
So let's take a look at that real quick first here. Mm-hmm. Also, just for those that want to know, the Boston Red Sox are beating the New York Yankees right now 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Thank you very much.
My facial reaction was not to that. There was like some Krispy Kreme commercial or something. I don't know what it was. That was before that, but I was like, what is this commercial? I don't think it was Krispy Kreme. I think it was something else, but.
Let's see if I can find these guys.
Anyway.
Trevor Noah here. Okay. We're going to start with Trevor Noah, okay?
Okay. This is the contrast between these. I thought you had it preloaded, Alex.
I didn't have it preloaded. I'm finding it. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Now I'm all anxious that I'm going to be like there.
We're just gonna look at the two examples that I know are confident, which is that Letitia James, this black lady that's like arrested Trump for everything in New York or whatever.
She's the Attorney General of New York.
And her number one goal is to get rid of Donald Trump somehow.
That's her other job.
She did a speech where she said, like, it's not the art of the deal, it's not the art of the steal, or something like, and the audience
It's not the art of the deal, it's the art of the steal, was what she said. Alex, I think you had it, but then you got confused.
I got confused.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the end of the speech.
Yeah.
And that's played on two different late night platforms,
yes.
both in downtown Manhattan, blocks away from each other. And I'm talking like blocks. Like Jimmy Fallon's on 6th Avenue and 55th, and Trevor Noah's on like 59th and 11th, I believe. So like, we're talking within like a mile of each other. Watch how Trevor Noah's audience responds to Letitia James, and then watch how Jimmy Fallon's audience responds to Letitia James.
Fun contrast.
And you will start to see why you are listening to No News is News, a independent podcast. Because we're independent thinkers, and I think that's who we can sell this to.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell them that we're...
Did you know that there's a lot of people that are listening to us right now on Alexas? I didn't know this until just like recently.
In Lexus cars?
Alexas.
Oh, I thought you meant in Lexuses.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just
we have a really strong demographic of
Lexus.
people that drive Lexus. If you drive a Lexus
and you listen to
and
us,
you're listening to us right now, let us know.
Please, because we need you as a financier for the next 5 seasons.
I'm just curious to see if there is that like Venn diagram of people that drive Lexuses and people that listen to our show or watch our show.
All right. Well, on with it anyway. Focusing back in.
Yeah.
Letitia James. Here
Audience
is
one.
Trevor Noah, Audience 1.
The pattern of fraud and deception that was used by Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization for their own financial benefit is astounding. Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
Donald Trump is in trouble now.
Okay, so it's very cheery, very much cheering. Now let's cut over to NBC, same time. Both of them are non-insurrectionists too. That is a good comparison to have here. Is that neither one of them insurrected government.
I'm just, it was right there, Alex.
Oh, there it is.
He literally scrolled all the way down, and it was literally like right there. It was like on the row above it.
What, you go viral just for yelling at me, and so now like the whole podcast is just you yelling at me?
I didn't go viral. I went like,
Tiny.
okay.
Viral. Yeah, you're thinking it's a brand move though. You're like, all right, I'm gonna do this more.
No, wait, you passed it. You passed it.
Okay, here we go. And here is Letitia James. And this is
Jimmy
The
Fallon.
Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon.
Well, guys, today, New York Attorney General Letitia James announced a lawsuit against former President Trump and his 3 adult children for allegedly committing widespread business fraud.
No, this isn't it yet.
You
That
can
was
tell
it. No, that
Trump's
was it.
worried
That was
because
it.
he just
Ooh.
asked
No,
Ron DeSantis to
'cause
fly him
it's
somewhere
when they
random in the middle of the
go to
night.
a speech.
Oh yeah.
If Trump is being accused of exaggerating the value of his properties, the Attorney General cited a few examples, one of them being that Trump said Mar-a-Lago is worth $739 million, but it was only appraised at $75 million. Trump was like, technically, with all the classified documents, it is worth $739 million. You took it out. Yep, $739 million, almost 10 times the actual value. Trump was going to put down $740 million, but he didn't want to arouse suspicion. In response to the alleged fraud, the state of New York is now suing Trump for $250 million. Trump was like, $250 million? That's how much my fish tank is appraised for. Oh, all right, just take the tank. Yes, Trump exaggerated the size of his wealth, his apartment, and his properties. It's the first time he's ever lied about how big something is.
Alex, I think we already got the.
No, I think you didn't, and I think I was just about to get to it. Yep, there it is,
I'm
right
sorry,
there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you made me move it. I told you.
I'm sorry.
See,
I was
sometimes
very
you need to
impatient.
just listen to the man.
Oh.
You know.
Take the fish tank.
Just saying.
Take the tank. I hate to see it go. Yep, the Attorney General laid out all the details of Trump's alleged fraud, and then she ended her press conference by saying this.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal.
Okay, so this is.
It's the art of the steal.
Ooh. That's a burn. Ooh. That's an accidentally locking yourself in a tanning bed burn.
So yeah, what's the difference there?
The difference
between
is
between a woo and a ooh.
The difference is that Trevor Noah's crowd is extremely liberal, and Jimmy Fallon's show probably voted for Trump.
I think Jimmy Fallon's show voted for Trump.
The audience, yeah.
I think they did. I think that's why they have a ride at Universal in Orlando.
Yeah. Oh, we learned that Orlando is like this, Central Florida. We've been watching The Circus, okay, from the beginning, which is fascinating. If you haven't watched The Circus, do it now. It is
on Showtime, which now is on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
so
they
I know we're
basically
plugging the wrong network here, but seriously.
They follow the election,
Salad.
the 2016 election, like from the beginning, from the primaries, and they're covering it live because this was like a show that they were releasing it.
Right, I think it was just because Donald Trump was running, and they thought it was ridiculous, and so they did the documentary. But the documentary is supposed to end at the end of the first season, but because he won, continued way longer. Like now they've done 8 seasons, and they keep covering.
But anyway, the first season is fascinating because it's all about Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. But before that, it was like Hillary Clinton versus Bernie Sanders. But anyway, the thing they talk about is that Central Florida, everywhere from Tampa to Orlando to like Cape Canaveral.
The I-4 corridor.
It's the I-4 corridor is like politically the kind of the most. It has like everything. It has everything. You have like
you have
cities,
rural, you have cities, you have liberals, you have
theme parks,
conservatives,
you have everything.
you have families, you have
farms,
entertainment,
it's sports.
fucking rocket ships they
like
shoot off here,
everything.
man. We are doing some crazy shit here in Central Florida. That's what we're pretty much getting at here.
But basically, it was saying that Trump's headquarters for the 2016 campaign were in Orlando, and Hillary Clinton's headquarters for Florida were in Tampa.
Yeah.
So you had this stretch, which is really fascinating. I didn't realize that just her headquarters in Florida, but his headquarters Were they?
Both of them were their headquarters in Florida, and I believe it was during the primary for Florida.
No, but no, when they were fighting up until the end, because it was when they were definitely against each other.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
the state of Florida's headquarters was in Orlando and then in Tampa, which is very crazy.
Or
when you
was
look
it
at the
their
politics
whole
of Orlando
headquarters?
now. What?
Or do they have like New York headquarters? Doesn't seem
No,
like,
they had New York headquarters too. They showed us both of those
But
too.
you can't have headquarters of like.
You have a headquarter of
What's
every
the headquarter
state.
of the headquarter?
No, they have a headquarter of every state.
I know, but what's the headquarter of the head? Some things have to be in.
Wherever they live. So like Virginia and Mar-a-Lago.
So Florida. So Florida's still.
So still Florida. Just a different.
Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that,
I
but
don't know.
basically watch the circuits. It's really fascinating, and you'll learn something new about Florida and other states too. It gives information too. It's very informative.
All right. Well, now let's see what we got here. Remember our first week, we had what was the big story? The Queen died.
Yeah.
Then we
had migrants.
had the governor of Florida shipping illegals to
Oh
Martha's
man,
Vineyard.
I thought this was a bone that like.
She's gonna eat that whole thing up.
I thought it was a bone that she could chew, like the last episode, how it was like the long bone. I don't know where that bone is.
Yeah.
Like it's missing. It's probably somewhere like in her giant pile of toys. But
I was trying to recap our show,
Okay,
and you were talking to the dog.
I was explaining to the audience
The
behavior
people
of the
are
dog.
interested in the news, not in the dog. The dog's podcast comes out next week, clearly. And it's just the dog eating.
Yeah, it's just her eating a bone. It's just
3.5 hours.
We just took the
podcast.
Yeah.
It's video only. Can't even listen to it.
I guess
Well, you can. You can
I
listen
bet
to
you
it.
that
It's just not gonna
qualifies
be
as
good.
ASMR, like of a dog eating.
We could. We should do that. We should definitely do that. We should do
And then
a
release it
weekly podcast every week of just Elaine eating food for like 2 hours.
and licking faces.
And it's
just eating food. That way you
recording
can
her
remember.
eating the food, and you can watch it on video. If
No,
you have video
no, it's only
Spotify.
audio. It's
No,
only
no,
audio.
you got the audio in the car.
That's really creepy. I don't know.
But if you want to watch it, you can watch
just gonna watch a dog eat.
eat for 2 hours, yes. Anyway, all right. Recapping once again to restart.
Okay.
Week 1 of this election cycle, we saw the death of the Queen of England. The
Yes.
second week,
We had the whole migrants.
we had the whole migrants getting shipped to crazy islands.
Yeah. What's this
Okay.
gonna be about?
What's this week going to be about?
I think.
I think we're going to be all over the place, and who knows where we're going to actually land.
Okay. I think it's gonna be Trump. It's his time. I mean, they've had two weeks,
Yeah,
and
but January 16th ain't till next week. They're
Okay,
doing those
but-
hearings,
but-
season 2.
I know, but he had to steal back the thunder from DeSantis.
I feel you.
He had to make it about him.
All right, the 5.
So the Dow Jones just
Hello,
went down
everyone.
quite
I'm
a
Judge
bit in
Janine
that
Pirro,
last
along with
month.
Jessica Tarlov, Jesse Waters, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The 5. More midterm headaches for the Democrats. With 47 days to go, the party is once again desperately trying to distance themselves from radical policies that are poison at the ballot box, like defund the police. Moderate House Democrats let out a huge sigh of relief when they realized their months-long effort to pass a police funding bill will move forward despite the far left's attempts to sink it. Squad members refusing to back down on their anti-cop positions
Well,
by stalling
I don't think that
vote-
either one of us can pay attention with the dog barking in the
Elaine,
corner in the background.
hey.
Can you get her a real bone?
I will-
Because I think that we've been way more entertaining than whatever is going on the 5. So we're done with the 5 already. I'm just saying that now, because this is old grandma news. I don't know what's going on here, but neither one of us said a word for a whole minute.
Elaine,
Because
come
it's
here,
just,
baby. Come
It's
here.
just nuts. This is nuts.
That was the most boring. That was incredibly boring.
Incredibly boring, informative bullshit about, what was it, racial Democrats being racist?
They're the fund the police bill. It's about defunding the police.
Defunding the police.
But like they're actually funding the police apparently.
Yeah, next.
Wow.
Next. I say next.
Okay.
All right, the beat with Ari Melber. Ari Melber. Ari Melber. Oh, wait,
hi, Nicole. Nice to see you. Welcome to The Beat. I'm Ari Melber, and we begin with several legal crises that are coming together for Donald Trump right now. It's been a week of setbacks for the president.
Yeah.
The big one is the New York Attorney General taking him to court.
That's one.
Okay.
Demanding sanctions, $250 million specifically, in penalties. Attorney General James saying that the Trump family and organization have committed massive and repeat fraud. And we're going to walk through this. You may have heard the news yesterday, and a lot of it focused on the law, her powers, what she's doing. There hasn't been as much time to really make sense of the
Trump is a black woman.
You recognize that within
here
yourself.
To start the broadcast, I wanted to do that.
Same body type.
Look
in
at
someone else,
which
and you
of
go
course
for
is in
it.
the nexus of multiple legal issues. And
Same body type.
But personality, I'm thinking. It's also like personality and mindset.
Yeah, they're like, I'm coming after him. That's all I'm doing. Just gonna come after him. Not doing anything else. I'm just coming after him.
Property value of $75
Okay, all right, we're talking over this.
Oh my God, this is the most boring news ever.
Well, they have a graph. Wait, hold up. Are they going to show the actual one?
Yeah. And then they're going to go, look, he said that it means this much.
Hold on. Of what you're about to see to leave room.
Who's marking the first value?
You really have to build a giant chart where the Trump organization made claims legally binding that this was
False.
That's not.
It's not in red either. We don't want to confuse you with a red poll that's going on, because then you'd get alarmed on MSNBC with something that's red having more than us of anything. So we're going to turn it yellow and then write false across it.
Okay, they had to break it down like a visual graph for people. They're like, let's just draw this out for you. Like we didn't already understand.
It's yellow and it's false and it's bigger.
It was a huge difference.
It's different.
It was such a huge.
It's different, but it's not a good different. It's bad different.
Avenue Apartments.
We're going to do this again.
They're going to do this again?
$750,000.
Drum roll, please.
Again, you'll notice.
Again, you'll notice.
And they're going to draw the other side.
We didn't even have time to get to it in our breaking coverage yesterday. It looks like a sliver. You might say, well, why is that, Ari?
Why is that?
Well, we're going to show
you. It's comparing
statements of Trump. Triple, no. $50 million.
Some intern.
You're starting to get the pattern.
Some
We're not going
intern
to do
who
this
just
forever,
learned
but
how
let
to
me show you
make
40
charts.
You're starting to get the pattern. We're not going to do this forever, but we're going to.
You can sell things for a lot of money.
I think some intern who just learned how to
goes for $220 million.
do charts on Microsoft Excel was like, hey guys, I got a great idea.
Right there. So that's a lot of money.
Okay, all right.
That's what it's roughly
here's
worth
the next one.
Wait, what's it going to be? Let me guess. It's a giant yellow thing that says false.
$500 million or more.
Oh,
false.
I see the middle graph was the biggest.
Each of those instances I showed you.
Our truth versus his false.
I will say, as a matter of precision and fairness,
who's coming this up?
There are other examples in the case that are not quite that strong or egregious. But when you count them up, it's not 5 or 10 of those. Or even.
So, who's going to parody Trump saying, like, how big his dick is and then how much small it really, like, it is? Who's going to do that graph? Who's going to...
what it really is? Well, they can just decide whatever it really is, because isn't that what they're doing with all these numbers?
I'm just saying, like, that would be really funny to do that. So if anybody wants to do that, I'm not going to do that. I just came up with the idea. Yeah, because it'd be funny. It would be a funny reversal. It would be like, and this, you know what I mean? Like if you're doing a joke, if we were going to do a joke of that, you have that, and then you're like, and this is what, Trump said that his penis was or something. His penis. And then
this is what we know Trump's penis to be.
No, this is the length that
This is Trump's length of his penis. We know this.
No, but this is what he said it was.
Start with.
And this is what it actually is. No, it would be like, this is what he said it was, and this is what it actually is. Elaine. Anyway.
You're ruining our podcast with your ruckus
Anyway,
with your
you
friends.
guys can understand what I mean by that, and I think it would be funny. I'm not saying they should really do it. I'm just saying if you're going to make a comedy thing and you're going to twist it and make a joke, that's a funny joke.
Elaine.
Come
on.
Come here.
Where did her bone go? What is she doing? Why does she not have her bone?
Alex, let's continue with the... Hey.
With the show?
Hey, okay. Come here, Elaine. Come here. Hey.
I'm just saying there's like crazy animals barking.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know, someone's dying outside. What is going on?
But something is dying outside. And there's a crazy alarmist dog brigade happening. And it's pretty intense. They're just all barking. Just shut it off. Just shut it off. Just shut the door and get her a stick or something and get her over here.
I just wanted to open it so that the audience could hear the louder bit of all the barking.
Oh, so you were giving them your laugh.
Yeah, I was letting you guys hear how loud it was because you probably already heard it, but you didn't know how loud it was. Yeah, it's pretty loud. Our walls are actually quite.
This one has to stay here.
Soundproof.
You stay here with this
great.
one.
I mean, at least I hope so. We don't have anyone on one side of us, but we have someone on the other side. And I just really hope for their sake, because we're really loud people talking and this, that I hope they don't hear us all the time.
All right, on to our next program.
Yes.
This is Special Report. So we got one Trump and one defund the police.
Hey, does Janine Carrero have like a Chick-fil-A shake in her hand?
Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer, breaking tonight pre-election politics and playing hardball on Capitol Hill.
Or they just had Chick-fil-A
because they're crime bill entering a critical stage ahead of the midterms.
Oh, the crime bill, okay.
The crime bill. Oh, now there's a crime bill.
The possibility of a government shutdown to force action on the
government
border
shutdown.
crisis. We have Fox team coverage from the Hill. Chad Program up there with the latest on the Democratic makeover on soft on crime perceptions. But we begin with congressional correspondent Aisha Hasni and the GOP's gamble on the immigration issue. Good evening, Aisha.
Brett, good evening to you. With the crisis worsening at the southern border and no immigration reform in sight here in the Senate, House Republicans are now raising the stakes.
We're going to have a plan to secure America's border.
House Republicans are rolling out their solution to the border crisis.
They're going to shut down the government so that they can get funding for the border.
Got a private, first-hand look at the plan inside Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy's Commitment to America agenda, a legislative roadmap similar to former Speaker Newt Gingrich's 1994 Contract with America. On the border, the GOP plans to end catch and release, reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy, and finish the border wall. Democrats are already hitting back.
So I'm not concerned with anything that they're going to present over the next few days, because the American people will see through it clearly.
Democrats are under pressure to do something about migrants being bused to sanctuary cities. But talks on immigration reform are stalled on Capitol Hill, and Congress is just 8 days away from a government shutdown. McCarthy adding pressure to the political posturing, tweeting, if Biden and Democrats don't use this government funding bill to address the border crisis immediately, I'm voting no on this bill, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Republicans see southern border security as a top issue that will bring out voters, some putting it ahead of pocketbook issues. As Fox's most recent power rankings show, the GOP is expected to win the House, but by just 13 seats. Former House Speaker and Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich, who was at this morning's private meeting, thinks the margin will be larger now that members have McCarthy's messaging.
There's somewhere between plus 15 and plus 70, and none of us will know until election.
This guy's still talking?
And Leader McCarthy will announce his commitment to America.
Okay, so what happened was the Fox News said there's this poll that came out. They did this poll where plus or minus 15 the Republicans are going to win the House. So it said there's probably at least 15 seats they'll win, plus or minus 15. Newt Gingrich just said plus or minus 15 to 70. So these polls are saying, they'll definitely take at least 15, but it might be close. Maybe they'll take a little more. Well,
Newt Gingrich is saying we
like,
could take 70 new seats.
Which, that's what I had heard way back when we were starting to look at polls a while back, like on 538.
Yeah.
And
right, but they've changed all that now.
But now they're cutting the gap so much closer, which is weird. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's closer to like 70 seats. But the news is, again, these polls, which polls are increasingly inaccurate, and they're more biased toward Democrats. Which, what does that do? Can we just make the polls like legit? Don't we want to all know what the actual odds are?
No. I think that we want to have 8 different contests that all mean nothing.
All right, on that note, let's go to NewsNation.
No, on that note, we need to shut the dog up.
Shh. Hey,
Elaine. I understand there's other people barking.
Hey, I know there's other things going on. Come here.
Hey, come here. Come here.
Come here, baby.
Take her. And trap her. Give her a bone.
Here, baby.
Elaine.
Here you go.
Come here. What are you doing? Oh, because if you do that, then she'll...
Come here, baby.
Just throw it over her. Just throw it over her, because she keeps trying to lay there.
I'll put it on my lap. Or is that weird?
That's fine. Whatever
Elaine,
she has
come
to
here,
do
baby.
to stop
Come
barking.
here. Nope, she's not. Okay.
She's good
great.
now.
She's
good now. She knows there's a blanket. It's over. See, this is all off camera, and that was ridiculous. A dog gets way too much attention.
Oh, that was a cut? No, we're not cutting that. We're showing, I guess we're...
I guess we were going to cut that, but now we're not. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, we're on to
today.
NewsNation.
It's a weird day
for
the
news. It's a weird day for the news.
All right, so we have...
I'm really bored.
I know, so far we have...
we only had one Trump.
Defense budget, and then we had Trump.
And then we had...
And Letitia James. And then we had the government shutdown.
/ build our wall in the budget.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Here we go.
Live interview. Plus, cracking down on drunk driving, the new recommendation from a federal safety board that is sparking some controversy. It is the top of the hour. I'm Nicole Berger.
It's controversial to crack down on drunk driving.
Midterm elections are
Stop.
nearly here.
Stop it! We just want to drunk drunk.
And for many of them, the road to November includes the art of the debate.
Oh.
3 major races the nation is watching include Georgia, Texas, and the long-awaited Fetterman Oz debate
NewsNation doing like debate central.
You can watch.
They're airing it. That's why.
They could do pay-per-views, man.
They're just promoting their debate. That's all that NewsNation is doing right here.
In the Senate and
they're like,
gubernatorial races have chosen
debates are really
not
important.
to
You should
their
watch
opponents,
ours.
ultimately canceling it. But will it make a difference? NewsNation's Natasha
Canceled it?
Zuves is joining
They
us live now with a
canceled the
look back at some of those moments that can make or break a campaign, Natasha.
Oh yeah, Nicole, there was a time when entire quotes from a debate became iconic. We spoke to a poli-sci expert about the memification of our debates, the image of Trump standing behind Hillary, the fly in Mike Pence's hair.
Oh yes,
she
the
weighed
fly.
in on our nation's
fly.
proud
That even had a
history of debate.
Why is
weird
that
SNL
the-
sketch.
Moment where some candidates are refusing
You
to
know, they're not
Trump
even
standing behind Hillary.
Not
the
even,
fly.
Okay, I was gonna say not even the historical one that basically won JFK the election is reputed because he was more attractive looking than Nixon.
Let's take you back to a moment technology changed the debate stage. JFK versus Nixon, nationally televised in black and white.
People who criticized Nixon because he...
That's the news on NewsNation is the
They're selling their debate. They're like
the art of the debate.
No, they're saying, hey guys, you know how like debates are so important. You have to. This is all the history of the debate. Guess what? We're hosting 3 of them. You're gonna watch them. They're just promoting their debate.
Well, yeah, because there was no news today. They were like, okay, so you got to lean on your side. So basically, what NewsNation is telling us is that the rest of the night, all we're going to see on Fox News is about a government shutdown, and all we're going to see on CNN and MSNBC is Trump files. But all that any of them are doing is just selling to their crowd nothing news. Because in reality, NewsNation knows there's no major story, and they're deciding to promote their debates tonight.
Yeah.
And actually, that's probably the bigger story of the night, is the promotion of the debate and the death of the debate.
Hey,
and if you're going to call this episode anything, I think it's the death of the debate so far.
Okay.
As long as they keep leaning in on this, because this is very interesting.
So I had an idea of a comedic sketch, or just something that I found funny. So, did you hear about the controversy with the chess players?
Yes, with the guy with the butt plug. And
so apparently there's this chess masters big. There was a whole competition, like the top chess grandmasters. Grandmasters, and this one dude, he competed against the reigning grandmaster, like the guy that's won like these tournaments like all the time, and like I think like 3 years in a row. Like he's been winning them a lot, maybe more than that. And this dude comes up and beats him first time.
Yeah.
Okay, like Queen's Gambit.
And already had been cheating before and prior, and had admitted to cheating before and prior. And basically what they said was, this man shoved a butt plug up his asshole.
No, anal beads. They're anal beads.
Anal beads up his asshole, so that somebody could tap Morse code into his ass through vibrations.
So that he would know what moves to do. So he cheated with vibrating anal beads. What I'm saying is I want to do a parody of a debate, like an actual debate.
With anal beads?
And and the person, the politician has anal beads that are vibrating and telling him what to say. And or her, but I think it's a better guy.
Yeah.
Because
I think Joe Biden's already doing that. If you hear him talk sometimes, he's like,
but anyway, I would like to make that. If you are so inclined and you want to go ahead and make that, go for it. I want it just to exist in the world, but make sure to like give me like credit. Like this was Kimberly DePurge's idea.
Oh, we're not doing that. And then we got Wolf Blitzer
Wolf
now.
Blitzer.
So basically, remember my prediction.
Okay.
Every CNN and MSNBC is going to be Trump, and every Fox is going to be about a government shutdown.
Cool.
Period.
That the FBI planted evidence at Trump's home. Also tonight, division and dissent inside the Russian military as Vladimir Putin calls up hundreds of thousands of reservists and struggles with losses in Ukraine. New intel capturing generals arguing and complaining about Putin. This as anti-war protests
you know what they should do?
are
They should
spreading
unionize
in the streets of
the
Russia.
Soviet Union.
And CNN investigates a Republican candidate for Michigan Attorney General accused, but so far not charged, with seizing voting machines. He's dodging correspondents' questions.
Accused but not charged. And we're accusing him as well.
Of sealed ballots.
How's that news?
Welcome to our
He's accused but not charged. Accused by who? Accused by us, apparently.
You're in the situation.
We're accusing him of it.
All right, but that was just the precursor. Then we get to see what the actual story is now.
Yeah, right? We got to see what they actually
We begin this hour with a slew of legal setbacks for former President Trump, including the new orders by the special
Thank you very much.
He requested. Let's go right
Trump
to
and the master and the specials of the masters.
Jessica, the special
yeah, they're so like
Trump's
smug about it. They're like, yeah, he
FBI
requested
planted
this
evidence
guy, and he's like
He is
doing his
And
job.
then this guy did his job.
We thought he was just gonna like rule for
those
Trump, but
out-of-court claims that the FBI planted evidence at Mar-a-Lago, and he wants it in a sworn
because
declaration
they know
by
what
the
the
end of
judges
this month.
and Trump
it's
and
an
everyone else
accusation
don't.
that Trump and his
Or
allies
maybe Trump
repeatedly
does.
made, and now the special master wants proof.
But it's just
Plus,
that
Wait.
if you
special
lose
master
the court of public opinion.
hold on. You know what that's saying?
What?
The special master is ordering Trump to prove that the FBI planted evidence. So Trump's been saying that like, oh, they planted evidence. Now the special master is like, well, you got to prove it, and he's got to put it in a signed document and prove it by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So Trump's got to find proof that the FBI planted evidence.
Well, his speculation, his claim.
Otherwise, it looks really bad.
Right, but maybe he does have that.
Because they're saying that they claim it because they actually like legally claimed it. They legally said the FBI's plan. It's not just the special master isn't like, oh, Trump, you tweeted about it or truthed about it, whatever the Truth Social thing is. No, I think they legally did that. So if they can't prove that, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad on their front. But if they can, I can't wait to see that evidence.
Right.
Of the FBI planting evidence. I want to see that proof.
Are we going to see proof? I don't think we're going to see proof.
No, I don't think so. It's the FBI.
I think we're going to see proof like, oops, empty KFC bucket here.
Oh, yeah, find dirt on the FBI.
Yeah,
find
dirt
good
on
luck
the FBI,
there.
and then in our private court, we'll litigate it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We got.
They watched every evidence of, even if they did it. You're not going to find it.
CBS News tonight.
But see, that's how Trump wins. That's how Trump wins. Trump goes, no, pause that.
What are these ones going to do, though?
Pause that.
Why can't we watch the news and just be done? What are you doing?
I was just going to say that's how Trump wins. Because even if they say that he couldn't find the evidence for the FBI planting, the evidence thing, he could just be like, well, it's the FBI. Of course I can't find the evidence. Like, they wiped that. So it actually won't really matter in the long run on public opinion on Trump.
It's just, I've stopped caring about it because it's clearly, literally just a case of public opinion. They're never going to actually be able to do something to him. They're just going to continue to try to prove that he's a criminal so you don't vote for him.
They're going to get him one day. They got Al Capone on tax fraud, right? So one way or another, they'll end up getting him.
All right, here we are. CBS News. What is CBS News going to do? I bet you they're going to do the same thing everybody does, which is going to talk about the fucking special master.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Local news.
There we go.
The previous news program has this dancing music. Anyway.
Tonight, we're following a number of big headlines, including severe weather and a major blow to Donald Trump's battle over classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. The newest setback for the former president. CBS's Gutfeld reports tonight on Trump's claim a president can declassify documents just by thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Russian men
flee
the
like,
country.
prove what he is supposed to do with it. You know what I mean?
Vladimir Putin's draft. Plus, CBS's Deborah Patta shows us what was once the
God,
headquarters
these
for
dogs.
Russian soldiers.
They fled in such a hurry, it's like
all
a
these
museum
neighborhood
of
dogs
panic.
barking all night.
Mortgage rates nearly double. CBS's Elaine Quijano on how the American dream is turning into a nightmare.
Almost feels like it's impossible to buy a home.
Whoa, he just figured it out.
Continues to
That's something that
for
years.
It's almost like it's impossible to buy a home. It's almost like I can't just make $30,000 appear out of thin air. It's almost like.
Helping an Idaho
Dude, I know we've been trying. We've given up.
This is the CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell, reporting from the nation's capital.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this busy Thursday night. I'm Jerika Duncan in for Nora. Tonight, the federal investigation into the top secret documents seized from Donald Trump's Florida home has resumed. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the Justice Department and criticized the former president's argument that the documents had been declassified. But in his first interview since the FBI search, the former president doubled down on that claim, saying just by thinking about it, he could declassify documents.
Just by
also new
thinking
tonight,
about
the
it.
wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, Jenny,
But he can't,
agreed
'cause
to
there's
an
a
interview
process.
with the
Well, what's
House
the
panel
process?
investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The committee wants to speak with Thomas about her possible efforts to help overturn the 2020 election. CBS's Scott McFarland will start us off tonight from the Justice Department. Scott, good evening.
Okay, I'm really...
So basically, it's just a nothing news day is what today is.
Yeah.
It's a nothing news day. What were you going to say?
I was saying, I was really thrown off by her dress with, the little bit of, skin in the center. So it's, a little sexy, but not.
It was very Star Trek-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, at the same time, but then it was still showing, a little bit of skin, in her chest area. But, I thought, it's just, it was just weird. I don't know. It was nice. It was a nice looking dress, but it draws attraction to the place that, news anchor women have been fighting to not have you look.
Cleavage?
Yeah.
They've been fighting for that?
Because of all
Have you
the
ever seen the movie
sexual
Bombshell?
discrimination and Me Too's and stuff.
They always showing their titties on Fox News.
That was Fox News? Nora O'Donnell? No, that was CBS.
No, CBS, but Fox News is.
All right. Anyway, next.
This one
so
is
Trump
ABC, and it's going to be Trump again. Calling it. This is so predictable tonight because they're all just nothing news.
I feel
and
really
like
boring.
Nothing.
I'm sorry, people. We're boring.
Nothing happened.
Very boring.
Morgan & Morgan.
Oh, hello.
Breaking news, the Category 4 hurricane now taking aim at Bermuda. Hurricane Fiona, winds 130 miles per hour, a hurricane warning now in effect at this hour for Bermuda. Hurricane force winds stretching 70 miles from the eye. The hurricane running parallel to the East Coast. The concern from Florida right up through New York tonight. We're also watching the next tropical
We don't have any
threat,
concern down here. It's not even been in our...
That one don't look good at all for us.
That was not good.
That one looked like all paths lead
That's the one that makes
all paths lead to Orlando.
That might make us postpone our shoot. That's the one that...
All paths lead to Orlando is what it says there. And we just released the entire half-an-hour sketch. All about how hurricanes are people.
Yeah, it's karma.
Yeah, it's karma.
It's karma. We're sorry.
It's coming for us, and it's 2 weeks away.
We did a whole sketch comedy episode of the Egos called The Hurricane of All Hurricanes. You can check it out on YouTube and also on ndpictures.com.
Now drafted to
but it's all about hurricanes, and so we've brought the karma.
Oh, look at all the propaganda on the screen.
Spreading across Iran tonight after the death of a woman arrested by the morality police for allegedly not
the morality police.
With the scenes unfolding.
I mean, but that's real though.
That's some real shit. That's some real shit.
Like
Morality police.
That's in Iran.
Atlantic for nearly 2 hours. After sparks are seen shooting from the plane, debris falling from the sky. You will hear air traffic
the dogs
control
are being
alerting
ridiculous.
The cockpit. Gio Benitez tonight. Meantime, the chaotic scene on board an American Airlines flight to Los Angeles, a passenger accused of punching a flight attendant. Tonight, the
he just like walked away like nobody would have told on him. Nobody's gonna tell on me.
He was like, I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. I was the only one here.
He was in court today, and what happened? The heated confrontation with the judge.
Only one here.
High school football.
There we go. Talk about Alex Jones. That'll be at least interesting.
Suffered during a game. And the recall tonight, more than 1 million Teslas over a possible danger with your hand and the window.
And the window?
And the window?
World headquarters.
You accidentally punched the window as you're driving?
Good evening, it's great to have you with us.
He's gonna stop you from breaking your hand in the window.
People really mad at their Teslas. Anyway, okay, it's a hurricane.
Barreling up the Atlantic, bearing down on Bermuda at this hour. They are bracing for a treacherous night ahead.
That's
The hurricane's
a
effects
monster
already
of a
being
storm.
felt.
That's
It's
the
moving
hit.
parallel to the East
Not
Coast
the
with
time
high
to go out on
surf
the
and
boat.
recurrent threats up and down
in
the
the
East Coast tonight.
Caribbean.
Winds now at 130 miles an hour. The storm some 800 miles across. In Bermuda, they were
flights to
boarding
Puerto
up
Rico are
stores
probably
all
real
day,
cheap right
winds
now.
picking up
You wanna go on
already, and look
vacation?
at this tonight. This is the view inside
Probably
the hurricane
really
this
cheap
evening,
flight.
moving toward
Whoa.
Bermuda. A sea drone on the ocean's surface, actually able to capture
sea
the
drone.
50-foot waves.
Oh,
That's
man,
what you're
that's
looking at right
crazy.
there. And then from up above tonight, hurricane hunters flying right into the eye of the storm. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano in Bermuda tonight, tracking this hurricane and the
Dude, this
next
is
tropical
dope.
threat as well, showing a potential path
This is crazy.
straight toward Florida. Rob tonight from
No!
Tonight, with Fiona's outer bands moving
You gotta
in,
watch all this,
Bermuda is
Florida.
pulling up.
We gotta figure this out.
Officials here sounding the alarm.
We want residents to please take this storm seriously.
Locals grabbing essentials while there's still time. Power crews
That
assembled and ready.
accelerated really
This is the
quickly.
time where Bermudans
It
depend
was
on
like a
us,
2 the
and
other
we will
day.
rise and make sure that they are protected and that they get turned on as soon as possible.
Hurricane Fiona is a Category 4 beast. C-130s flying inside the storm, measuring hurricane force winds now out to 70 miles from the center.
With the eye you have an Insta? Hey, I'd watch that. I'll follow them right now.
It's Insta of the storm. It's the storm, like at its handle.
Oh, they gonna
As many
drone
as
this
8 deaths
shit?
across the Caribbean now
That's
attributed
crazy.
to Fiona. 4
Like
days
the
after
storm?
the storm
That's
made
new
its
kind
first
of
landfall
footage.
in Puerto Rico. More than 900,000 customers remain without power there. And tonight, officials cannot say when it will be restored in the hardest hit areas.
All right, so let's bring in Rob Marciano. He's live in Bermuda tonight, tracking this hurricane.
Yeah,
of course,
they're on
in the
an
coming
island.
hours,
Of course
and
they
the
don't
next
have
threat we
fucking
mentioned,
power. I
that
don't
could
understand.
take aim at Florida. Rob, first, this hurricane that Bermuda faces in the coming hours.
Yeah, well, the last couple of hours, David, the wind and the surf, for that matter, has really picked up. It's now just 250 miles to our south, accelerating in our direction. So let's look at the stats of Fiona. Right now, the movement is at 20 miles per hour, and it's got winds of 130 miles per hour. But look at that eye, a 30-mile wide eye now, and the wind field is expanding. Tropical storm force winds extending across 450 miles. That is massive. There you see it slamming Bermuda to overnight with strong side of surge, damaging winds here, then quickly to Nova Scotia tomorrow night. It's going to be a damaging storm there. Rough surf continues along the east coast. And here's that next wave you mentioned. We're worried about it in the Caribbean, likely to become our next tropical storm by Monday, with most of our computer models taking
all those paths are wrong. All those ones.
Likely as
all
a hurricane. David?
All right, let's get through this one.
Likely as a hurricane.
Stay safe tonight.
Okay,
we move to the other news this Thursday night to former President Trump, who has been dealt
No, but it was all right, cool.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't like those models with like they seem like little tentacles of like some like it seems like alien.
It's like invading you.
It's like it's like invading.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Is those dogs still barking?
Yeah, these dogs are fucking crazy. I don't know.
Tropical threat potentially targeting the U.S. as Hurricane Fiona takes aim
my
at
mom was
Bermuda and
murdered.
North America.
Head
The
to
new
the
tropical
second floor.
system developing in the Caribbean, could it impact the U.S. as a hurricane? It comes as Bermuda braces for Fiona, still a monster Category 4 storm. And now a rare hurricane watch up for Canada. Al Roker with the new tracks.
Bro, they ain't ready for that. They're not ready for that at all.
Putin began drafting 300,000 more troops to fight in Ukraine. The growing backlash in Russia, more than 1,000 protesters arrested. Richard Engel with a reaction in Ukraine. The mounting legal troubles for Donald Trump, the appeals court restoring the DOJ's access to classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago on the heels of New York's $250 million fraud lawsuit against the former president. Tonight, a stunning new claim about declassifying files. Alex Jones back on the stand. How much will he have to pay Sandy Hook parents for calling the massacre a hoax?
I don't care. Alex
The
is
new
amazing.
lawsuit over the Mississippi water
he should not have called it a hoax.
crisis.
He went hard on that.
And he went hard on it. And it's pretty funny when he's just sitting up there and he just had
Who else supports that? Like no one. No one
He's
else.
just over here by himself with that one.
Just saying it, and it's like, why?
Why did you do that one?
Good evening, everyone.
Out of all the things you could have
We are
said.
watching no fewer than 5 storms or developing disturbances in the Atlantic as we come on the air. But none more threatening at the moment than Hurricane Fiona. Still a Category 4 storm and the strongest storm on the planet right now, barreling north where it is expected to deliver a glancing blow to Bermuda and potentially on its way to a rare landfall by a major hurricane in Canada, where it could cause devastating damage. In Fiona's rearview mirror, the trail of destruction it caused in the Caribbean.
So again,
New satellite images show the widespread damage Puerto Rico suffered from Fiona. And tonight, forecasters watching another storm in the making, and early computer models that suggest parts of the U.S. could be at risk next week.
They didn't want to say
Let's turn to
Florida.
Al Roker
They're like, we
now
don't
for
say
the
Florida
latest.
here.
Lester, we're looking at things starting to heat up. We've got a couple of systems coming
The
off
United
the African
States
coast.
is what we're talking
Watching
about.
this next one down in the Windward Islands, but Hurricane Fiona still Category 4 storm, currently with 135.
Yeah, this might be the end times, guys. This might be the start of it.
Okay, no,
However,
stop this.
This shit is gonna go fucking crazy.
It's gonna be depressed soon, though. You know,
Cuba, 90%
Yeah, whatever. Oh, here comes the aliens.
The computer models show landfall anywhere from Miami to
theirs is
Cancun.
much
That's
wider.
the first one.
Theirs is much wider. The other one went all to Tampa.
Storm system hasn't formed yet, and so look at this. Tuesday along the Florida coast, but Friday up and around the Gulf Coast. So we're going to continue to watch it. We have to wait for it to form.
So here's the thing:
You
if
know
it
we
hits
will.
us, it's gonna hit us earlier in the week.
Yeah, if it's Tuesday, it'll hit us.
Yeah.
If it's Saturday, it'll hit them.
Yeah, but we probably still will. It'll get.
We'll
something on
have
Saturday.
a hurricane and then we'll have to shoot afterwards.
We'd rather it to hit us, so that way it passes through and it's gone by like Thursday. But otherwise, it'll take more time and then we'll get more rain.
if it's a real thing.
I mean, I don't want. We're just being selfish because we're filming.
Yeah.
We have a shoot.
That's another
on the 1st,
selfish thing to be saying.
Next week.
When this is happening.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying.
NewsNation back
We're
at
selfish,
it.
okay?
Are they going to promote their debates for a second hour in a row?
Good evening. I'm Leland Vittert. On the program tonight, Texas cracks down on the Mexican drug cartels.
So cartels are terrorists.
What will it take for the Biden administration to finally treat them like the terrorists
They're just blowing shit up.
You cannot claim to hold
They're
progressive
fucking
values,
terrorists.
yet back Israel's apartheid government.
How Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib has divided her own party over anti-Semitism. And a new study says the polar ice caps are growing, not shrinking. Does this mean we can finally go back to plastic straws and gas-powered
Wait,
cars?
what? They're trying to say climate change is actually, we're doing better?
Yeah.
But first,
So
on
we should
point
go
tonight,
back to the straws?
if America will not stand up for those
That was a really
demanding
weird thing to
democracy
say.
around the world,
They're like, guys, we're making
nobody
some
will.
gains, so
What
you
is
know we
this?
can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This kind of should be the number one story for everybody.
Over the past week, thousands of Iranians have risked life and limb and time in prison
blocked the
and
internet?
beatings and time in prison for their families to demand basic
That's why
freedoms.
they're protesting.
They
There's no
stared
TikTok.
down
They're like, you
Iran's
took away my
secret police.
TikTok.
They worked around internet controls so the world can
Whoa.
see the regime's brutality. They continue to demand an end to religious law. The protests started with the killing of Masha Amini by the Ayatollah's morality police. She allegedly defied them by either removing or not having on the correct headscarf. What did America do as the protests demanding democracy and freedom began? Not much. Effectively nothing.
Right, yeah,
Today,
we're
the
here to
Treasury
support
Department issued
democracies.
sanctions
Remember
against
that?
Iranian
Yeah, that's why we're in the
morality
Ukraine right now.
That was
Supporting
our big
democracies.
move. It means nothing. Sanctioning the morality police and forbidding the chief of the morality police from visiting the United States is a little bit like forbidding the residents of Florida from buying snowblowers. Sounds interesting, but is completely feckless. What could we do? A lot.
We want our snowblowers in Florida. We want our snowblowers.
No, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But this is crazy.
Yeah, because we're jumping on Ukraine, but yet in Iran we're like.
There's literally
no
a
one's talking
revolt
about it.
happening in Iran from the morality police.
From the murdering a woman.
Morality
which
police.
is what can be more a progressive fight to fight for the rights of women everywhere.
Yeah, wave your flag. Get that Ukraine flag out on your lawn as the morality police murder women in the streets of Iran. The morality police. The moral.
Are they just calling it that, or does that really exist? Is it really called the
I feel like it is. They're like doing some Trump shit. They're like, we're the morality police, motherfucker. Moralize yourself.
But it is ironic because you could see morality as like your version of morality is like you don't kill people, but then they're the morality police like killing people.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
So they're not very moral, are they?
Well, it's the very concept of relative morality. So based on where you are in your environment determines your morality as opposed to universal morality. It's philosophy. It's different philosophical thoughts, ways of thinking. Either morality is universal and we all have the same morality regardless of where we're from. It's like we're human beings. We all know basic things. But then there's also relative morality where based on where you're at is your morality. And I think relative morality is honestly the way to go because if you kind of look at how we were at everything like the United States has been over the last like two and a half years, everything is about having universal morality as opposed to relative morality. The concept of like basically relative morality is states' rights.
What?
Did you not hear anything I said?
No, I did. Morality is states' rights.
No, there's the concept of morality, and there's and you can either believe in universal morality, meaning that you can either believe in you know what I mean, based on you are in the United States. This is your relative morality.
Right.
I mean, if you think that everyone. Now you're confusing me, Alex.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on to Aaron Burnett. I bet you they're not going to talk about the morality
before,
police.
And he just didn't get it. So
they're going to talk about the immoral behavior of one Donald Trump. The one Donald Trump immoral.
Out front next,
I'm really
men
jealous
fleeing
of the
Russia
dog,
over
but she's
fears of a
looking at me
draft in
and
a war
she looks
many
so
say
cute.
they want no part of. This is CNN reports Putin is giving direct orders himself to a military that is now deeply divided. Plus, Trump's handpicked special master calling the former president's bluff for a second time, now ordering him to prove his claims of FBI tampering.
Can we stop talking about this transformer?
President Biden preparing for Republican governors meantime to send more migrants to Democratic cities as questions grow over how Governor Ron DeSantis pulled off that Martha's Vineyard stunt. Let's go out front. Good evening. I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight.
How did he pull that off?
Smuggle them over
Russian
here.
president tonight is facing fear and fury inside his own country. Russian men fleeing Russia to avoid military mobilization. Now, the Kremlin is calling these reports an exaggeration and fake news.
Russia.
And they say,
Russian,
are they right?
Russia.
No, they are not, because the pictures don't lie. So let's show you what's actually happening on the ground. I'll put up a map that shows you the routes out of Russia.
Okay.
These are some of the main routes. You see them in the dotted lines.
That's
okay,
not
so as you
video on the ground, lady.
There are long.
We drew a picture for you guys.
So we first told you it was facts, and we we're going to give you the footage on the ground.
Officials
now
now
show you a picture.
banning most Russians from entering the country because of the traffic.
That's
in
not
Georgia,
there.
the country of Georgia, brake lights.
There could have just been an accident.
I can see. Reports now that exit line stretches more than 6 miles.
Wow.
And
that's very
today along the Russian border with Kazakhstan.
That with all the drone footage and things that are going on in this world,
the only thing they have are
the only thing you have are like these really janky
at Moscow's
car
videos of traffic in different countries being like, oh, look, they're
that's
all
the airport.
leaving.
Okay, there you go.
Very
That's
many
the airport.
young men fleeing Russia. And for those staying behind, they're now being
They
called
left
to
all the women.
These are some of the
okay.
Well, right, because they are being drafted.
Many men boarding planes and buses, saying goodbye to their families. These incredible scenes are coming as dysfunction is growing.
So when we flee for our draft, we're bad, right? But then when they flee for their draft, it's good?
No, hey. No, it's now accepted that when you flee for your draft, it's good.
It's always good?
The whole Vietnam thing changed that.
Yeah, it's always good to flee for the draft?
Yeah.
Should never be a part of the draft?
Should not exist. That's the point. The draft should
Even though we all agree as citizens that our inalienable rights are obtained by agreeing that we have to do service if called upon. Even though that's part of the agreement with having free speech and being a part of the country and paying your taxes.
No, that's just the agreement if you want FAFSA for college. You don't have to do it unless you want
it's true.
a FAFSA for college.
Yeah, so if you don't go to college, you don't have to really get drafted. You can just kind of dodge to begin with.
You can just not
out
sign
of just boredom.
But they tell you, seriously.
It's like the only place that gets you either is the college loan.
Yeah,
They're like,
it.
oh, you want a college loan?
You gotta sign up for the draft.
Sign up for the draft.
Don't worry.
What draft? Don't worry, there won't be one because you're going to college. It'll solve everything.
But see how they snipped that in? See, that's something that's still so weird.
That is weird.
All right. I always thought that was strange. And only men too. Only men. And actually, what is a man now?
What is a man? What is a woman? What is life?
So should everyone now sign up for the draft? Is that what they're saying? I mean, I'm done. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
The readout. Right. Racist lady. What racist thing she
tonight
got to say?
Tonight on the readout.
Here?
This is what I call the bewitched defense, that he somehow can sort of magically transform.
It's just absurd. What is the process? I just want to know.
Yeah,
I just need to pause that real quick.
Can we just
hold on?
No?
Just can we know the process? If it's clear that there's a process for doing these declassifications, what is the process?
Yeah, just draw us a diagram.
Yeah,
just
you know the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, showing all the things.
What's the process?
What's the process?
Can we just
Can we make T-shirts? What's the process?
What is the process?
Please, I just want to know what the process is. After that, you can arrest the chicken finger guy or whatever.
It shouldn't be that hard to.
You have to explain yourself before you.
It shouldn't be
just persecute people.
There should be it shouldn't be classified information what the process is.
Jesus, I know. Yeah, it's oh yeah, well the reason that they're not declassified is because he didn't go over to Jim Bob over at the library and he didn't call this place.
Yeah.
And then once he calls this place, these 3 people then sign off on it and then they get this stamp. And we saw that this letter didn't have the stamp, so he didn't declassify it.
Yeah. But I think it's just.
But I think that there literally is no process.
There's no process.
And they're like, well, then you have to prove what the process is, though, because you had to have a process, because you can't just say it later.
But
well, there's no process. And that's what he was saying on Hannity. He was like, there is a process, but there doesn't have to be, is what he said. And people are making fun of him for that.
Okay, or maybe,
but that makes sense.
No, or maybe here's the thing: there is a process, but Trump's just like the executive that like they don't know that there's a process. He's just like, yeah, I just want to declassify that, and then like 20 people go off and do their job, and they like randomly give him something to sign or whatever.
Well, that's what their argument is. But again, I just would like to know what the process is.
I do want to know. I'm curious. Can we just?
If we're going to get into grave detail over this case, but then we're not going to explain the process.
Yeah, what is the process?
You have all this time on your hands while the special master does nothing or whatever.
I think we should make sure.
What's the fucking process, man? What's the process? That's all I want to know. I just want to know what the process is for declassifying a document.
Yeah, can we just?
I just want to know.
Please, if you know, let us know. Just write in the comments.
And don't just bullshit it. Don't just like give me some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like actually like a .gov affiliated site.
Yeah, what the process
explaining
is.
what the process is of presidential declassification.
Yeah, and a diagram would help too. Like one of those little things where it's like the boxes and the
help.
arrows and like the flow chart.
A
flow chart. I want a flow chart.
All right.
That's what I want.
Here we go. Read out now.
Okay, great.
His defense of the indefensible is getting more absurd by the day. And now his hand-picked judge have received an embarrassing rebuke from a panel of appeals court judges. Also tonight, New York's Attorney General exposes Trump's most sensitive insecurity. The fact that he's not nearly as rich as he claims to be, something my guest Tim O'Brien forced Trump to admit in court a decade ago.
She had a friend that told him to do that a decade ago.
The performative sadism of Ron DeSantis.
Few other politicians seem to get as much
as the Daily Beast described it, they
other
said.
people get hurt. We begin tonight with a simple rule of legal professionals.
Hold on.
In most cases, whenever possible, keep your clients off of TV and avoid letting them do interviews, which usually do more harm than good. Unfortunately for Donald Trump's lawyers, their needy, attention-craving client could only hold out for so long. And so last night on one of his favorite shows, in an interview with his friend, Sean Hannity, he seemed to make a losing argument even worse. In his latest throw spaghetti at the wall defense, or is it throw ketchup?
How is that even what is that?
Trump made
That's not even ketchup. It's not even related to
his
spaghetti. She just said like marinara sauce.
To declassify documents.
She's never eaten spaghetti. Yeah,
if you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it. And there doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be. You're the president. You make that decision. So when you send it, it's declassified.
When you say it becomes it.
FBI may have actually
and I can agree with that, but I don't understand what the absurd notion is of that.
Did you see that? She did the I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
Wait.
Unfortunately for
that
Trump,
was a long time to get to that clip.
In an episode of Bewitched, and he cannot just wiggle his nose and expect classified material to miraculously become unclassified.
Alluded to I Dream of Jeannie.
That would also mean that the material he knowingly declassified included.
That was the wrong clip. That was the wrong clip. I know they were like this. It's easy to confuse the two because they were very.
Okay, so we got this drone footage of Mar-a-Lago, but we can't get drone footage of any of these other countries and the massive.
I'm just saying, who messed up and didn't get the I Dream of Jeannie clip? Who messed up?
All right.
Who messed up on the read?
Time for Jesse Wallace. Man, we still don't really know what the top story is. It's kind of like a vibe of everything. It's been a vibe of everything, really.
Yeah. And their teeth are so white. Their teeth they stick them in they just like
part of being on Fox
Here
News,
at prime time, when we see a problem in America, we address it. We try to fix it. And being that our studio is here in New York, we're witnessing a major problem, something that all cities are dealing with.
Ooh, are they taking in migrants?
Deranged and dangerous homeless. It used to be a nuisance, but
now
it's starting to freak people out.
They're going to take in the homeless.
West Coast cities are so bad, you don't even know whether you're in Fallujah or LA. In Portland, the homeless have become an invasive species. They've gotten so comfortable, they're venturing into people's homes.
Ooh.
Look at this surveillance video. A homeless woman.
Then they're not homeless anymore.
They
found home.
Yeah, they found a home.
Wait.
This is a child.
Wait, this lady
bedroom,
just
by the way. I don't know about you, but at 9 years old,
That's a child's bed? That's a large bed for a child.
No, but that homeless lady just walked.
But vagrants, Motel 6ing your kid's bedroom is
God.
nothing compared to what.
Can you check under the bed for
Did they not lock
homeless
their
people?
doors though? I mean,
Extreme.
Like they're like,
Are you
oh,
Haiti?
these people,
No.
you can't even
That's
just
just
leave
an
your door
American
open
tendency.
anymore.
Can't wear sandals even
in
though
the
it's
homeless
hot,
area.
because needles are just sticking up out of the street. Remember the 90s? Remember Bum Fights, the DVD? You don't even need it. Just go look outside. They got middleweights, they got heavyweights, going at it 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, when we drove through
LA,
LA, we saw a bum fight. So that's true.
right at the Chinese theater.
Yeah.
Doing his business right there on an LA sidewalk.
Oh.
But he's not done.
Ew.
He takes the bag of crap and throws it at a local business owner.
Ew.
The guy owns a restaurant right there. Next thing you know,
I thought he was
the
gonna throw the
feces is
camera.
flying at him.
Whoa.
So what's this guy's deal?
Oh,
Sir,
man. I don't want to see
doing
more of that.
Why are
Stop
you-
playing that?
Why are you doing
feces
this?
at this gentleman.
Why throw feces at people?
I'm half paralyzed.
What?
I'm blind. I have no card for 9 years.
We offer to help the man with services for the homeless, but... Sir, do you need help? The city is offering
You're
help.
bothering me. I don't need he needs help.
Yeah, he needs help cleaning your mess off his windshield. By the way, does this guy look half paralyzed to you? Squatting down, throwing feces? He doesn't look blind either. Guy's got good aim.
Wait, that's the same guy?
Probably got a better arm than
Why was he
Fauci.
so much lighter in that video,
We
but the
had that
other one he was
business
just so
owner on
much
the show
darker?
last night.
I thought it was a completely different guy.
The biggest crime in this whole
This
thing.
is so aggressive. He just like wants to be
Not
there
only
on the
does she
street.
ignore the emails, but she told me, quote, I was crossing
All right,
a
enough
boundary.
homeless.
I'm sorry, that was the same guy? I thought that was a different guy.
Yeah, okay, Shepard Smith. Fox News always talk about the homeless. It's no big deal. There hasn't been an actual story tonight.
If he thinks it, is it so? I'm Shepard Smith. This is the news on CNBC.
Wait,
that was so good.
Himself over documents he says he declassified.
Jeez Christ,
So
these
dumb.
people.
Oh my God.
Even by thinking about it.
Why his lawyers haven't filed with the court that process.
There doesn't
No one is above the law as he like literally tries to fucking fight the lawyers.
I declassified everything.
Russians.
You see that guy? He's like wearing a suit jacket. And like, I'm not going into no war.
After his demand, they fight in Ukraine.
I work for Tesla. I don't work for you.
Just think about it though. If you fled a country,
Trouble brewing in the
you don't have to pay any debt there.
Yeah.
Like they're never gonna. You're like, oh, out.
Tracking the new
That'd be
threat
nice.
days after Fiona slammed Puerto Rico. Alex Jones.
Alex
defiant
Jones.
in his defamation trial.
I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry.
What the jury deciding his punishment is hearing.
U.S. government said the Russians staged a false flag to start the Ukraine war, and I believe it.
He started trying to.
He was put on a false flag.
Well, you know, he can't work right now. You know, he can't be on his podcast. He's gonna be in the
New York
in the courtroom.
And the boomerang generation. How long mom and dad's support is lasting.
Boomerang
Live from
generation.
I think it's us.
It's literally like us.
Because
like,
they help you, and then you go away, and then you have to move back in with mom and dad. It's
Can an
boomerang
American
generation.
president
So it's
or
our generation.
ex-president declassify top secret documents by just thinking about it, without alerting the CIA or the FBI or the Pentagon or going through
That's
any
a
of
real
the normal
question.
process?
I genuinely would like to know the answer.
Former President Trump is making exactly
So wait,
that
so the process is to
extraordinary
alert
claim.
them all.
But some Republicans are
email.
already breaking ranks and rebutting his line of defense for having a stash of highly sensitive documents at Mar-a-Lago.
I don't understand, because here's the thing. It's like, what he said he's saying sarcastically.
Yeah, they're all saying it sarcastically.
But I
just by
genuinely
thinking
would
about it.
like to know.
What's the
Because
process?
I've been told that the President of the United States has the absolute and punitive authority to declassify documents.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that he didn't put the stamp on it.
Where in the Constitution?
Where in the laws, the Constitution, the world, anything, does it say the president must use this red rubber stamp and say declassified and go through process
Yeah.
before he
That's
can say
really
it?
interesting if you think about
It's
it.
not an
because,
unfathomable thought. It's not this crazy thing. And they keep saying it sarcastically.
Okay,
and
let me
it's
see. Let me
annoying.
Google it. Let me see. I'm gonna say, what is the?
What is the process of declassifying a federal presidential document, you're probably not going to know, nor is anybody else. It's all speculation. That's a problem.
Oh, hold on. What is the process? What is the presidential process of declassifying documents?
Yeah.
Okay, Department of Justice. Declassification. Well, what's popping up here is that information appraised as having permanent historical value is automatically declassified once it reaches 25 years of age, unless an agency head has determined that it falls within a narrow exemption that permits continued classification
but what is
and has been
like, again, we don't
appropriately
know.
approved.
That's the point. That's the point I've been trying to prove, which is we don't know what the process is. Nobody knows what the process is. Everyone's sitting here going, process, process. He just thinks he can think about it. Well, why wouldn't he assume that he can just think about it?
You can file.
What about it is drawing some conclusion?
Oh
that
my
he
gosh,
needs to do
guys.
something else?
Okay, you can file a mandatory declassification review request by mailing it to the Director of the Office of Information Policy, United States Department of Justice, 1425 New York Avenue, Northwest, Suite 11050, Washington, D.C., 20530. All right, what I'm saying is, if you go to justice.gov, if you Google this, it pops up. But basically, like, we could all write letters and just to the Justice Department.
Yeah,
I would like to file a review request to declassify every single document that
Donald Trump
at
spoke
Mar-a-Lago.
about.
Like, we could all form a movement and just write a bunch of letters.
It's just like, who cares what the documents are? It's so stupid. We're gonna arrest this dude because of documents. So here comes Tucker Carlson to save the day. He's gonna talk about the homeless.
Good evening and welcome to
or the government
tonight. Happy anniversary. This week marks the 7-month anniversary of the beginning of the war in Ukraine. Something is still going on and isn't talked about quite as much anymore. So the day that war began, which was February 24th, two things were very obvious.
We've been together 7
was that there was no way the Ukrainian army would be able to win a decisive military victory over Russia.
Like, you do
the reason was
6
simple.
months sometimes.
Russia is
but
too
7
big.
months, that's
Ukraine
being a
is
little
too
creepy.
small.
Yeah.
The Russian
That's
military
like,
is
you care a
many
little too
times
much.
the size of the
That's
Ukrainian
what he's doing.
military.
He's being
Plus,
a
of
little
course,
too
it has
creepy.
nuclear weapons.
It's been
Russia
7
itself
months.
is the
Nobody wants
largest
to talk
country on
about
planet
this.
Earth. It's got a
You do 6
relatively
months
huge
and then you wait
economy
until
for the
the year
region.
mark.
All right, we're
Okay,
done.
Tucker.
All right, Tucker, you got to do it at 6 months, not.
Yeah, you missed the month.
Yeah, wrong month, bro.
That's too creepy.
Today, our Christian Amanpour was slated to interview the president of Iran for his first interview outside that country. He demanded she wear a headscarf, and she declined. A proud and important moment for
because
Christian and for
you
CNN.
wouldn't
Sad
let a
though for
man
Iran.
interview the head of
course,
Iran,
the whole world
and it had to
deserves
be a
hear
woman,
what he
and
has
then
to
you
say
started a
and answer
revolution,
the
and then
tough
you won't
questions.
talk about it
Thanks so
on the
much
news
for
now?
joining us. AC360.
You mean how
starts
you did
now.
that? Are you going to talk about Trump when you literally just started a revolution in the last clip?
Good evening. We
think
begin
about
tonight
it.
with more plain speaking from
Think about
judges
it.
to the former president and his attorneys. Today, the court-appointed special master ordered Trump's attorneys to back up their clients' now repeated claims that the FBI planted evidence during their search at Mar-a-Lago. Just last night, 3 judges from the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, 2 of whom the former president appointed, cast doubt on Trump's other unsubstantiated claim that he declassified all the documents in his possession. The judges wrote, and I quote, "The record contains no evidence that any of these records were declassified, and before the special master, plaintiff resisted providing any evidence that he had declassified any of these documents." Now, as we and others have reported, and as every expert we've spoken to has said, there is a process for declassification.
What's the
If you
process?
don't believe them, take it from these Republicans.
What's the process?
There's a process for
No, it's
declassifying
not.
documents. There is a process that one must go through.
Okay, so that's pretty clear. What is
They keep saying
or
that. His
accurate
friend
is what
Sean
the former
Hannity.
president claimed in an interview last night with his TV friend Sean Hannity.
If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it.
I would agree with that.
And there doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be. You're the president. You make that decision. So when you send
I don't know why we're talking about this with all of the things that are going on, all the Iran shit.
Wait, did you hear what he said? He said if the current, if you can declassify it after it, can the current president reclassify it just by thinking about it? Like, what if it's declassified, can you reclassify it?
Well, we're not talking about reclassification.
That's what he just said.
I know. It's so retarded. I don't understand the
So,
point
but
of
wait,
it.
basically Trump is saying by the fact that he's like, because I took it out of the White House, I declassified it when I did, because if it was classified, it should have stayed in the White House.
Right.
Because I took it out, that is my process. There should be a process, because you have to like keep track of this shit.
But they're saying but what is the process? That's the point. Not there should be. Because you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing.
I'm saying there should be to organize
I mean,
it.
there should be.
But
He shouldn't be able to do.
But is it
He's allowed to.
constitutionally, legally, like backed up? There's a
Should
difference.
you and
you have to
are two different questions, and it seems like a lot of this case is a lot about what
Should
you
and have,
should do
instead of what you have to do.
do.
Yeah, I think
And-
that's the in a nutshell.
All right, here's Chris Hayes.
Twos.
So that's the story. That's the story of the night. That's the one that's going to
Criminal ex-president.
is that he just thinks about it.
He did
admitted
it, and he
admitted it. I already know he admitted it. That's
Tonight,
not the
the
argument
deepening
anybody's
legal
making.
jeopardy for the
We want to know what this
disgraced
process is, if there's a
ex-president.
process.
My husband told me that the president asked about me twice, so I'm wearing my Trump button.
The expected testimony from the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. January 6th committee member Pete Aguilar joins me tonight.
Wait, what did that have to do with January 6th?
I believe there's
the
some
wife of
activity involved
the
there.
It's like
wife
New
of
details on the Ron
the
DeSantis
justice
migrant scandal and what the Republican Senate candidate in
January
Georgia
6th
has in
then.
common with his biggest booster when it comes to charity.
Oh, charity.
All in starts
Oh, they
right
give
now.
to charity. That's what they have in common.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. Donald Trump just had one of the worst legal days of his entire life, which is saying something. And it comes amidst a set of accelerating threats from local, state, and federal law enforcement. So last night, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, as we reported, issued a unanimous per curiam ruling against the ex-president, overruling a previous decision widely criticized by a Trump-appointed district judge, saying that the Department of Justice can resume using the 100 classified documents seized from Trump's home in Florida in their investigation into his handling of the sensitive materials. DOJ has said that this inquiry is related to possible obstruction.
Well, the reason that they pulled back on that is because this photo got leaked.
Yeah.
Also yesterday, New York Attorney General announced a $250 million civil
Trump?
lawsuit against Donald Trump, his
Black
company,
Lady Trump?
members of his family,
Black
including
Lady
3
Trump.
adult children, accusing them of
Black
committing,
Lady Trump is-
He said
in her words,
committing.
a staggering amount of fraud.
Committing.
If that suit is
Committing
successful,
a
it
fraud.
would bar the Trump organization from doing business in New York
For
State.
5 years.
All of that comes just weeks after we learned the DOJ issued 40 subpoenas to all sorts of people.
Season
in
2
Trump's orbit
J6
in
coming out
connection
next
with their
Wednesday.
investigation into
We're gonna
the
know next
attempted
week.
coup on
That's gonna be a hot
January 6th.
week. Hot
The
week,
DOJ
guys,
has
next
also
week.
seized the
Got the
phones of
J6
2 top
hearing clips.
advisors to the ex-president, which is
Season
interesting.
2.
Oh.
Then there's the fact that Donald Trump's own lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, is a target of a criminal investigation into election.
Oh, they're just trying to bury him, aren't they? All right, on to the next one.
BBC? No.
No. Dan Abrams.
Oh, Dan Abrams.
NewsNation again.
Let's see what's next. I'm getting a little bored, Alex, actually. I mean, I'm finding
Well,
joy in each moment.
it's just the whole like he thought it in his head.
Taking the stand again in a second trial over his claim that the Sandy Hook shooting was staged, and this time he explodes on the stand when questioned. We'll show it to you. But first, breaking tonight, the special master who Donald Trump both requested and is paying for is now becoming a major thorn in his side. In a new filing tonight,
this is the one that's gonna be
senior U.S. District Court Judge Raymond Deary is effectively demanding that the Trump team explain in detail any evidence they have that documents or other material was planted by the FBI during its raid of Mar-a-Lago last month. Now remember, immediately following the raid, Trump and some of his allies suggested
Evidence
the agents
of
who conducted
planting
the raid
evidence.
flat out framed him.
How are you
Repeated
even
those
going to know?
claims
Like,
last
when
night
the
in
hell?
an interview with Sean Hannity.
The problem that you have is they go into rooms, they won't let anybody near them. They wouldn't even let them in the same building. Did they drop anything into those piles? Or did they do it later? There's no chain of custody here with them.
Wouldn't that be on videotape potentially?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're in a room.
Wait, is he saying
And so
that
now tonight,
they don't have a process
that
either?
Special master saying the Trump team must submit.
So like, so there's no process. What's the process for declassifying, and what's the process for taking back the classified documents, right?
Right.
Like, what's the FBI's process?
Yeah. Oh,
we
what's
don't know
their
either
process?
processes. They're just fighting
Right.
over it, and
And
we
they're
don't-
like, well, there's a process. Well, maybe there isn't a process, and that's why they.
Do we have evidence of the process?
Yeah. Did they do the right process? I did like that Hannity was like, it would be on videotape, and he's like, nah.
Oh, Trump? Yeah, 'cause he's like, I don't have security cameras there.
He's like, no, not in that room. Okay, bro.
Not in that one.
Not in that room. Just that one. Not in that one, guys.
Ew. Was that like a sex den or something?
That's the Miss America room.
No.
No, I don't believe that of Trump, but it is pretty damn funny. And speaking of Hannity, here's Hannity. Want to bet anything he's just going to brag about his interview yesterday?
Yeah, I talked to
I
my
talked
friend.
to
Well,
Trump.
he probably
I
does
talked
call
to
him
Trump.
his friend too.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my friend Trump. So.
And welcome to Hannity, and tonight part 2 of my interview with former President Donald
Oh,
Trump
part
at
two.
Mar-a-Lago. Now,
two.
yesterday we had a very lengthy, wide-ranging conversation that.
Okay, let's skip forward then. Let's go to some of this.
What do you see for the midterms, and what do you advise?
This is new. This is
candidates
new.
now?
So we saw
Yeah,
old
but
clips
McCarthy,
just now, but this is new.
It's the first time in 28
new.
years that Republicans are doing something similar to the contract with America. He's calling it commitments to America. He will release that publicly on Friday. I think many Senate candidates will also sign on to it.
He's announcing
your
it
agenda.
tomorrow.
It's the MAGA agenda. It is the America First agenda, which, by the way, Joe Biden gave an entire speech on. Did you see? I know you saw the speech because you mentioned it in your
MAGA.
rally.
You talked about MAGA. And then I said, no,
MAGA
you don't
Republicans.
understand. It's
They're
Make
doubling back.
America
They're
Great
doubling
Again.
down hard. They're like, oh yeah, you want
Make
to call us
America
MAGA?
Great Again. It's under attack.
I define my political philosophy very simply. I'm a conservative. I'm a registered conservative because I'm in New York. Okay. Believe in liberty, freedom, capitalism, our Constitution, law and order, safety and security, or else you can't pursue happiness.
Right.
Right? Okay. I want choice in school. We spend more per capita per education
Right.
with the worst results. You talk about it often.
Two old guys
I believe in
listening to
secure
what they
borders,
want.
legal immigration. I believe in
Yeah,
energy
yeah,
independence.
got you,
I'd
got
like to
you.
see that next
That's
step
a really
like
nice
you talk
place
about
they're
for
at.
energy dominance.
Where are they at?
Okay.
Is it Mar-a-Lago?
I want NATO to pay its fair share, free and
gold
fair
balls.
trade, which you talked a lot about.
And I got.
Peace through
We
strength.
were there.
We got to have the best military on the face of the earth. We allow the bad actors. And
I got
believe
it.
that the Supreme Court should
Okay, this is
interpret
a
the
long
Constitution and not
list right
write
now.
legislation.
Come on, Hannity, move
Now,
on.
And
What's
we
the
believe in
question?
the
What's the
First and
question?
Second Amendment. That's pretty much sums up who I've been on air. Now 36 years I've been on radio.
Jeez, ask him the question.
Whatever, it's 26.
And that's not conservative.
Bro.
You know what that is? Common sense.
What do you- I agree.
This is not your interview,
Are you
Hannity.
conservative?
Can you ask him
I'm a
questions?
person with common sense.
Are they just talking? Is this a podcast?
Energy independence, great education, strong military.
This is a podcast. He didn't
strong
ask a question. He
All
just
these
went in.
things, low
And
taxes.
he's just repeating the same thing back.
Triple your taxes. It's crazy.
Stop it! Now it's
Same
From a
thing back
political
at him.
standpoint, how crazy is it? My whole life, the man.
Now
who
let
was
me
gonna
tell
win
you what I'm
has
gonna
always
do
had-
next.
or woman always had the advantage, right, in an election. Today they're talking about openly. We're going to raise. How about you're talking about nuclear weapons, which is the biggest threat in the world today by far, and we have a president at the United Nations today that goes on and talks about global warming and climate change. You know, it used to be called global warming, but that wasn't working too well.
Global warming.
So now they call it
Well,
climate
before
change.
that, it was global cooling. The next
That's right.
ice age is coming.
Years ago, they thought it was
Global
global cooling. But, I mean, we have such problems in this country. And if you look at the Green New Deal,
Global cooling, global warming, global
trillions and trillions of dollars we're spending on this, it's like throwing it out the window. A big reason, by the way, for this inflation.
Trillions.
The other big reason is what they allowed to happen to energy. Energy has gone so high, so fast, it was devastating and lifted everything else. Now everything else has caught up. It's not merely energy.
Let me ask you.
I agree with this, but like, is this just a campaign? This is a campaign video.
If you were to win and became president, you would only be able to serve one term. How long do you believe you could get things back to where you had it when you left?
Very quickly, except for one thing. Millions of people are in our country now that shouldn't be here. Many of them are prisoners.
Would you deport them?
Criminals. The bad ones I would deport, yeah. The bad ones I would deport. Millions and millions of people.
Why did they say he would only be able to run for one term?
They're poisoning our country. They're poisoning. I'd like to be nice about it.
In a row,
yesterday
consecutively.
I heard that Venezuela is emptying
It's just
their prisons out
consecutively. That's
into
literally
the
the
United
law.
States. Now,
I saw that
wasn't
report.
that shocked because other countries have
He
been
could go
doing
2 more
it,
terms.
and I've been hearing about it and reading about it and seeing it. So I'm almost
so
surprised
he's
it took them so
essentially
long.
saying,
But
like, if I
Venezuela
become president,
is
I'm
emptying
gonna
their
round
prison
up and
population
deport
into
all
the
the
United
people
States,
that
going
came
right
in.
through the border.
Everyone.
That's
I'm gonna round up and deport
poisoning our
everyone.
country.
Okay, I'm sorry,
And
but that's
it's
where you
very
get
hard
into
to
like
come back from that.
Hitler
We can
Germany
come back from
territory,
that, get the oil,
because
we'll
that's
get the
what
price
they're.
down. You know, if we got the price of
Poisoning your country.
Putin would stop. I wouldn't even have to
We're
talk.
poisoning our country.
That does not sound good. He should not be phrasing it. Stop it. He should not be phrasing it that way because it sounds very bad.
And he's selling it to
We're
China.
gonna rile them all up and cut them all out.
And Europe is
no.
going to
All
dump
of 'em.
us. You watch. Because they're not
Well,
going to
I mean,
allow
it's
their
better than
people
like
to
just
freeze,
creating
so
the
they're
10
gonna
cities
dump
like they
us.
are in New York.
We're out there fighting. We're spending many times more money
You watch.
than them. And they will be dumping us.
Who's
You know,
gonna
we
dump
did
us?
one thing very bad.
They're gonna
We allowed
freeze 'cause of the
Russia
dumping.
and China
All right.
to unify.
Who's dumping us? I missed that.
Alex Wagner.
We talked over that.
The other Alex
Sorry about
Wagner.
that.
The senseless amount of
Yeah,
human
they need to
misery
cancel the
induced
war
by this,
because
from
of, like,
grain
gas
prices
price and
to
death.
deaths in Ukraine to
Cancel
deaths
the
of
war.
Russia. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
just cancel the war.
none of it had to happen, and it's just very, very.
But it's
hard.
all Putin's
It is.
fault. None of
And
it had to
Masha
happen
Gessen
but
is the
Putin.
perfect guest to
The
talk
best.
about
Made it all happen.
Great show, Chris.
Thanks.
Thank you
They're
to
all
you at
anti-war
home
here.
for being here with us tonight. Do you remember when Donald Trump and his allies were very, very concerned about the mishandling of classified information? It was the thing they cared about
crimes
almost
that were
more
committed
than
on them?
anything else. Much of Trump's presidential campaign was premised on the idea that his opponent could not be trusted
But
because she
his
mishandled
declassified
classified
information that he handled,
information.
so-
Yeah, it was declassified.
In fact, Trump's campaign was
Well,
so
that's
concerned
not
about the
part of the
proper
process.
handling
There's
of
a
government
process.
documents.
What's the
they believed
process?
Hillary Clinton should go to jail.
If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor
And he did.
to look into your
And then
situation.
Joe Biden
You
did the
know,
same thing
it
to him.
is,
Like, you know what I mean?
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Should Hillary Clinton be in jail? Yes or no? Mayor Giuliani, you know her. You're a prosecutor.
If I did what she did, I would be in jail.
If I did
If I did what she did.
a tenth of what she did,
Okay.
I would be in
And?
jail today.
They weren't just talking about the emails.
Remember the
They're talking about eating
crowds
the
at the
babies.
Republican National Convention
They're
just
eating the
thundering
babies.
They're like all this other
over
stuff.
again.
And Pizzagate,
Lock her up.
and, you know.
What they were actually saying was lock her up for
Is this today?
mishandling classified
No,
information.
that was back then. That was
Once
2016.
Donald Trump did become
That was
president,
like
he set
today.
about trying to actually do it, to put Hillary
Or
Clinton in jail.
suppose it.
But
Or
he
suppose
didn't.
it.
But they weren't classified documents now, according to Trump. He was
Right.
like they were declassified
So she had actual classified documents.
and he had declassified
And she
ones.
was never president.
And she couldn't.
She was
but,
never president. So there was always somebody in charge of her.
Couldn't she have just said, "Hey, Bill, can you declassify these?" And he could have been like, "Done."
No, because it was Obama that this was happening under.
No, but a president could, as a president, he could
Oh,
declassify
well, yeah,
them.
but unless they can reclassify them. Declassifying the reclassified.
What is the process, guys?
What is the process? And she's not going to explain. She's just going to keep going. You're still at it, too. No good, very bad day this game.
People we don't want to talk to.
Who's this
And
guy
so for
that's
me,
talking to in a
the
park
last
in
people
New
we
York?
want to talk to was the Taliban.
Jimmy Hatch hopes the report will inspire
I wonder what's that-
Americans of all
oh, I
walks
think-
of life
oh, he's
to
a
hold
reporter
the country's
that
leaders
probably the
accountable
Taliban
in
captured?
America's future conflicts.
I think it's a guy that like smuggled the dogs out.
Stop.
He let the dogs out.
No.
I believe
It's
that
the man
in a
who
way,
This is about people that died.
a part of the United
This is
States
sad.
of America
Why is this on the news?
died in
Because
Afghanistan,
news.
and that
This is
my
definitely
classmates
a slow news
and I
thing.
picked them up and brought them into our classroom and are attempting to bury them with respect and learn the lessons that created them.
Well, if you're interested in reading the report by Jimmy and his class, there's the link at the bottom of your screen, bit.ly/Yale 20-year war. Also, if you want to find out more about Jimmy's charity, go to spikescampaignfund.org.
Also,
tune in Saturday,
like it's
8
like
p.m. Eastern.
it's literally the
That was
news.
the
The
worst-
news
that
trying
was
to
the-
be.
Why did they do Bitly? Why did they do Bitly?
I just want to give you this Bitly fucking combo. Oh, and then he's just like lady in a leather jacket. What is this? What is she wearing?
In his battle over his possession of classified
Is
documents.
she fucking Mary J. Blige? What is this?
Or shut up. And you have
Very
a
bright.
deadline
The
to
fuck
do
is
so.
that?
And that deadline.
They were like,
She
you
gonna
gotta
fight
put
somebody? Is she a wrestler?
Donald Trump's
You're like,
longtime
no,
personal
she
lawyer
came in
turned
with
nemesis.
Oh, whoa, what?
I'll talk to him in just a few minutes about the former president's many legal battles, including one of the vital new developments tonight.
This fucking, we got the snake on here.
No, this is what happened. They were like, you can't wear all green, please put this jacket over it. Like, it was like, she's like, fine.
Claims
magical, whatever.
The fucking Undertaker.
Mar-a-Lago during last month's search. And
I'm gonna fucking take you down.
Declaration. They also have to say whether they are claiming that any of the items on the inventory list were not taken from the premises. Remember, it's one thing to make those claims outside of court. It is a whole nother thing to do so in court, where a lie could be a crime
but
itself.
again, it's also
and Trump and his allies
the special
have
master's
been
asking him to
claiming
answer
it
these questions.
without
What if he
proof
doesn't answer
for
them?
weeks, including
It goes back to the
this
judge.
from the
The
former
special master
president
ain't the judge.
just
Then he
last
doesn't
night.
have proof, and they're like, oh, snap.
Okay.
Did they drop
What?
Yeah, I
anything
guess
into
you're right.
this?
But they're just like, okay, then you can't make that claim. Dismiss. There's other claims.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
That's true. It's not like he loses.
The judge says
They're asking him about his lies on the radio, and it's like, yeah, but he doesn't have to prove the lies. He can just be like, oh, I'm sorry. Look at what Alex Jones is doing in his court case. He's just apologizing all the
That
time.
has not happened. Earlier this week, the special master
They
pushed
gotta-
Trump's
they
lawyers
gotta
to take a
see what
position
the hell
on whether the
happens
former
there.
president had, in fact, declassified the documents. They haven't done so yet, but here's what Donald Trump said about all that last night.
Is there a process? What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're.
Oh no, I accidentally thought about it and declassified it. Fuck. Damn it, why did I think that?
No, but like,
That's like
they're
a
trying to
Mick
get him.
Hedberg
They're
joke.
trying to
That's
get
what-
him.
that's
They're
a
trying to get him. It's so dumb because they're trying to be like, oh well, he didn't do it beforehand. He's lying, and it's like, even if he's lying, what is he lying about? What is he lying about?
But like, you could have a dream as like the president where you declassified all the documents and you wake up and you're like, oh damn it.
No, you've declassified
I've
everything.
declassified, now I gotta tell everyone who really shot JFK.
I mean, if you were on CNN, that's the way you're thinking. Obviously, it's weird to me that they're like.
They're just running with that quote and they're kind of like really making fun of it. And like, yeah, it is. You can interpret it as being ridiculous. I get it. It is humorous.
Yeah,
in
being
the way.
like, oh, he
thinks
he can just think about it. But at the same time, it's like, what is the process?
What is the process?
Again, T-shirts. What is the process?
What is the process? Oh, this dog is sleeping.
There has to be a process. Well, the process was that he forgot about the process and said there was a process later. End of process. What is this?
Tonight on
Damn, that looks
that's from YouTube. Okay, see, they did the real one.
Not just an instinct, it is a choice
Oh,
now.
So like, look at all these fucking
What's
planes.
more disturbing, that or the hurricane model?
All the Russians being like, I gotta get out of here.
But they can't go so far. They have to stay within a radius.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
No one's going that way.
Yeah, no one's going that way. No one's going to China.
Or
Nobody's
this
like, I gotta
way.
get out of here and
Or
go
no
to
one's
China.
going to
Strangely, keep ending up in the morgue. So why are they dying?
Ooh, it's like a game of Clue.
Man.
Also ahead, to debate or not to debate. Elections happen whether candidates face off on the same stage or not.
Oh, this is again telling them why debates are important.
Why debates are important because they're doing the debates. and no one else is.
Pandemic food aid.
I believe debates are important,
millions
though.
in the dark
They
days
are.
of
I love
COVID,
debates.
But allegedly,
They're so much fun.
great.
Jackpot for scammers. Now dozens are charged with taking money from U.S. taxpayers for tens of millions of children's meals that were never served. And how much did you pay for that
Was it
college
worth
degree?
it?
We have the list that might make you rethink what you spent. The college majors that will earn you the highest chance.
Who's that late? Who's that
like, who are all these people with these hats? Where am I? Where did all these hats come from?
That was such a random
Thursday to you. Vladimir Putin got where he is by crossing lines. Ukraine, being the biggest line today.
Why is her camera out of
despite all
focus?
of that
I don't
carnage,
know.
despite all of the damage
They're
to Russia's
NewsNation,
military,
they're
its
the
reputation, and its economy,
All those dogs are going
he
at
still
it.
had many of his people behind him, but not anymore.
Oh,
the
he
line
crossed
he
the
crossed
line.
yesterday,
Okay.
for the first time since the Second World War, is setting off shockwaves that could make the Russian leader even more desperate. That line
that is.
draft.
I mean, that is a
Supposedly
big
as many as
thing.
300,000 Russian men,
Any
but maybe
country
more,
doing a draft is
shipping
like a
off
big
to
no-no in
war
the eyes
at
of
a
like the
moment's
TikTok
notice.
generation. They need to be able to do their
Thousands of
TikToks.
Russians
They
have
can't
hit
be
the streets
fucking
in
around with
protest,
drafts.
Despite the fact that in itself is a crime that's punishable by 15 years in prison. Hundreds have been arrested in dozens of cities. But rather than prison, some have reportedly just been handed the draft notice right there on the spot, right there at the arrest. You're off to war.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's fucking cruel.
That is
Unhappy
cold.
Russians of fighting age
Oh,
are
that is
getting out of
cold.
Dodge, or at least they are trying to. Last night, we told you that airfares skyrocketed minutes after Putin's announcement of the draft, and flights sold out despite the costs, thousands of dollars per flight, especially to countries that don't require visas for Russians. Take a look at this. Just look at the number of flights that are bubbling out of Moscow. They're like ants,
crazy.
God, look at
boiling
that.
water being poured into the anthill. These people
That
are
is
heading
insane.
anywhere but Russia.
Holy shit.
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Algeria. And every one of these planes, take a notice, they are flying
It's
a
not
wide
propaganda
berth
because it's not
around
NewsNation.
Ukraine.
This is crazy. This is not
For obvious
propaganda.
What
This
is
a real
this?
thing.
Why are they not giving out the,
Social media is also
YouTube
filled-
channel of that?
It was probably just a fighter YouTube channel. I mean,
I know, but still, you should still give credit to that. You give credit to BBC, and so you're just like, oh, it's on YouTube.
yeah.
I don't know. I think they should credit it.
They may have paid for it too.
True.
So they just didn't catch up on the cameras on this stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, that graphic, that plane thing is wild.
All right.
Look, this is I think hey, can I pause that for a second? This what I think is I think Russia, I think they fight old school, where they literally have troops on the ground.
Right.
Like America, we have drones, we have all this like fancy like surveillance, like we have all this like technological stuff that we use in our warfare, so like it causes very little casualties of actual American soldiers. I think Russia is old school, that they're more like point and shoot and this, and so they just have these troops that are ground troops, and so they have a lot more casualties because they kind of have outdated forms of war, especially when you're having Ukraine getting American weapons that are essentially used to limit. The American weapons are designed to
But I mean,
reduce
the scary thing is that if the guy gets desperate enough, then he goes for the nuke option.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But
and isn't that the
it's like he has two
concern?
extremes. It's actually very
but
terrifying.
But at the same time, like, I think that's why he's doing the draft, is to say he's not doing the nuclear option. Because he's going, I'm doing a draft. I'm losing this war. I get that. We're doing a draft. You're going to have your little story and cake and eat it too. But nuclear options still on the table, but not actually doing it, because if he was really going to do it, what would end up happening? He would send one out, and then there would be other countries and other situations that all come out at him so hard that they would ruin the entire fucking country.
Yeah, but
they would ruin that entire area, especially since Russia is so isolated.
Yeah.
It would be very easy if one rocket goes towards us or towards the EU or towards China or towards anyone, essentially, just goes up in the air. The next 17 rockets are going towards the entire country of Russia, just obliterating it. Because what else is there?
Yeah.
All that's there are the people that didn't get out that were supporting them.
It's like he would have to be like a Bond villain.
There's
You know
no
what I mean?
other country you're hurting. You're not hurting any other country.
But
you're just.
But the idea of like a Bond villain or like an evil villain or like Dr. Evil from Austin Powers is like some people just want to blow up the world.
Yeah, but he would have to be that, and I don't think he's that.
I don't think he is that.
I think he's trying to control.
I don't think he is that.
But maybe he might get desperate.
But
Anyway,
maybe he might
let's
get
get on to some comedy.
Okay, cool. All right.
Now that the night is over, I think we can say it's about Trump imagining documents.
Yeah.
was the story.
No, he's just by thinking of
about it,
declassifying, and also what is the process?
Yeah, and what is the process?
What is the process?
But here's our
We really don't know.
comedy, and let's see what we got tonight.
Happy Thursday, America.
Oh, I like that tie. That's a nice
Tonight's
tie.
monologue, Crime and Punishment. I just came up with that title. Yeah, it would be a good one for a book, huh? First, let's address FBI
I wanna
agent
see him just
Steve
stand up in a
Friend,
club.
who was
Yeah,
suspended
right?
after he made allegations
He's so
in
bad.
a whistleblower
He
complaint.
bombed.
Yeah.
He was stripped of his gun and badge and removed from the Daytona Beach FBI field office.
What?
That sounds like fun. Getting stripped at the Daytona Beach field office. As far as the FBI is concerned, he's been unfriended. See what I did there with his name? Because his name's Friend. I think that's a courtesy laugh on your part, but I'll let it go. Now you can keep doing it, aren't you? Okay. But don't you remember the
He's bombing in
Whistleblower
his
Protection
own
Act?
stance.
That was such a big deal when all the anonymous leakers were coming after Trump. Now it gets ignored like Jamie Lissau's Tinder dating profile. Very lonely guy, laughing through the tears.
He looks like a younger version.
Friend
Like he
was
looks
declared
like
absent
his
without
the
leave
same
because he wouldn't take
hairstyle.
part in a SWAT raid that he considered excessive force against the January 6th
comedy or
folks
a
accused
story?
of misdemeanors. In a way,
okay,
it's
this
like being
dude.
punished for refusing to take part in a home invasion. But because Friend pissed off the wrong people, he was gone faster than you can say reliable sources with Brian Stelter.
Never over.
It's never over. I'm never letting it go. I'm never letting him go. Just gonna hug his little round body.
Oh boy.
Till they bury me in the same coffin, which will be a piano case.
Oh.
Remember that guy? His complaint underscored what we've been saying for a few years. The FBI, DOJ, IRS, AOC, and every other three-lettered governmental outfit deserving of four letters has been encouraged to exaggerate the threat of domestic terrorism. The demand for violent white terrorists somehow exceeds the supply, so they have to make them up. It's like a scaled-up version of Jussie Smollett's hoax, except this is way easier because unlike a typical fake hate crime, you don't even need the victims. You just need the amorphous threat, and the FBI will fill in the blanks. Now, maybe some of these threats exist, but it's not like they ever find them. They're like women in a Brian Kilmeade makeout story.
His like sides where he like
Sad.
makes fun of people are just so awkward
wish
and
he would
not
just
funny
stop.
at all.
It's embarrassing for
I do
everybody
like that tie
involved.
though too.
But they're always making fun of
So
like
just
the other
like people
anchors
who
and acting
paid their
like they're
student loans,
characters
this
on a show
agent,
or
a
something.
respected
Yeah,
12-year
weird.
veteran of the FBI and a SWAT team member, was punished for doing the right thing. Now, if the other side does the wrong thing, then it's another story. In North Dakota, which is a state cat, a fiend admits to running down a teenager over a political dispute, and he's currently out of jail. He murdered the
running-
kid and he's out of jail. Apparently, he's not a flight risk, which I guess is defined as he won't run over people with a plane. According to authorities, the alleged killer used his truck to mow down Kaylor Ellingston, who the fiend claims was part of an unnamed Republican extremist group. You know, I tried to search for this story yesterday, and it's amazing. There was less coverage than Michael Moore in a belly shirt. Think about that for a while. Yeah. Now let's flip the script. Imagine Donald Trump making the same speech Joe Biden did, that bonkers one in front of Satan's grotto.
Oh, that's right.
And then a left-wing teenager is murdered by a Trumper. The word incitement would be shouted faster than you could say Charlottesville.
So quick. We'd be,
Funny.
we'd be
It's not
there
the case
with
here.
it.
No one's screaming, "You got the blood on your hands, Mr. President," or the same thing to his like-minded pals
You're
in the
screaming
media.
it.
Because
You're
it's the
supposed
media
to.
who usually does that sort of screaming.
Aren't you the
Let's
media?
go to Joe Biden for comment.
Amazing.
What? I'm sorry, what?
At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate. But for all the millions whose lives will be saved,
Wait.
for the communities where life will be transformed, thank you. So thank you.
He's trying to leave. He's like, oh no, it's not over yet. Are they talking to me? What is happening there? I'm so confused.
What? I think he was like, oh, should I sit down? Yeah, he was, that's genuine. He was asking if he should sit down to his people.
Yeah, but
and then the guy came up and was sort of talking praise about him. So then he was like, "Oh, I guess I'll stand here." And then like he kept talking, and so he's like, "All right, I guess he's just doing a speech. I'm gonna leave." And then his people were like, "Don't leave. He's praising you." That's what happened there. That was pretty crazy.
That's really That's very
All
funny.
right.
All right. So,
on to the next one. We got Trevor Noah on The Daily Show.
Okay. Why doesn't his thumbnail reflect his awesome hair? Like, it's got him with the shaved head in like the thumbnail, but his hair is like so much. It's like amazing. Fucking.
Should we go back to school? Should we go back to school?
No.
No
more school.
No more school.
No more school. No more work. We don't do anything.
Fuck school. Also, Trevor Noah's audience still wears masks while Jimmy Fallon's does not. So that
that's also another thing.
Key difference.
Yeah, cause I thought the pandemic was over.
Yeah, Joe Biden said it was over, but Trevor Noah was like, not today. Not today. He's not.
Thank you for coming out and questioning.
Thank you for putting that fucking thing over your face.
A lot of them though are like the disposable ones where they're like, I'll put it on for this, but that's it.
Well, right. They probably had him at the door being like, go put these on.
Why Russians are all going on vacation at the same time. So, let's do this, people. Let's jump straight into today's headlines.
That's good. That's the story. That really is the story, but they're trying to bury it with the Trump stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. With all the news that happened today, I don't think we have enough space in today's show.
He says this every
really
single
sorry.
time.
Every time. I think it's because he does it every Thursday.
All-you-can-eat news buffet.
Oh, and we only watch it on Thursday.
So many
every
stories.
Thursday he does this bit where he goes.
Oh, because it's the wrap-up. Because he's not.
It's quick news or whatever. Yeah.
Fortunately,
I just thought he did this every show. I'm like,
just enough time for a segment we call. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't got no time for that. No, it's like he does it every day.
You're like, come on, man.
That's the same gag every day.
Ongoing legal troubles of America's 45th president, Donald Jurisdiction Trump. The only former president with a side gig selling bedazzled classified documents on Etsy. You see, Trump is still being investigated by the Justice Department for keeping over 100 classified documents in a closet at Mar-a-Lago. Pretty much the least secure place in the world outside of Adam Levine's DMs. And Trump world has been coming up with all kinds of defenses for what he did. They said, oh, the FBI planted the evidence. They said, everyone takes work home with them. And then they said, Trump Trump was trying to protect the documents from Nicolas Cage. Last night during an interview with Sean Hannity, Trump came up with a new excuse that may have topped them all.
A defiant Donald Trump
they're
pushing
trying to
back.
make
The
it a
former
joke.
president is insisting he had the power to declassify documents from his Mar-a-Lago home.
Well, what's the process
just by
then?
thinking about it.
If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about
Prove
it.
'em wrong.
And there doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be.
Well, hold on.
There can be.
He wants to know the
Donald
process
Trump
is.
can declassify documents with his brain? How? How? He can't even read documents
Yeah.
with his brain. How does this
So
happen?
what are you asking for?
I really hope
Do you want to know the
that
process?
I can make things happen with my mind.
I think he wants to know
is
the
going to be the
process.
actual argument at the trial. That would be great. Your Honor, the defendant pleads Jedi. So Trump is saying that he declassified these documents just by thinking about it, which I don't even believe, because that will be the first time in his life that Trump has thought something and not said it out loud. Think about it. This is a man who thought to himself, oh, if I wasn't related to my daughter, I would date her. And then he told everyone
us.
on TV. He said it out of his mouth. And by the way, if this all happened in his head, you do realize that means now the FBI is going to have to raid his brain for the evidence. That's going to be a nightmare for them. Oh, guys, all right, let's see what we have in here.
Oh, okay.
Wow, it's a lot of bikinis in here.
So
Miss
just-
America in a bikini. Is that Putin in a bikini?
There's Melania.
A hamburger in a bikini? Oh, hold up. I think I found the documents. I got them, the classified documents, but they're in a bikini.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Now, if we had more time, we could talk about the massive ramifications of Donald Trump having a superpower that only applies to documents, but we don't have the time, because in that same interview, he gave a different excuse that was even more mind-boggling.
What's this one?
Here's Donald Trump's new theory revealed just an hour ago about what the FBI was really looking for with their search warrant.
There's also a lot of speculation because of what they did, the severity of the FBI coming and raiding Mar-a-Lago. Were they looking for the Hillary Clinton emails that were deleted, but they are around someplace? Were they looking for the
Wait,
spying
you're not
on
saying
Trump's?
you had it.
No, they may be.
Wait, you're not saying you had it.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait, you're not saying you had it, are you?
Even Sean Hannity's like, wait, I'm sorry, man. I roll with you, but I don't understand. I'm so confused.
Yeah, that was great.
So is Trump saying the FBI raided his house to find
Hillary's emails?
the documents he declassified with his mind? No, they wanted the emails he couldn't find, but that he actually had the whole time at his house?
Wow.
Donald Trump is Hillary Clinton?
That would explain a lot of things.
That was a really good
That was
bit.
great. That was
America
amazing.
really did it, like
Props
this
to
first
Trevor
female
Noah.
president?
Yeah.
What? This is so insane.
The only laugh
And if
tonight,
we had
really.
more time, we could talk
I
about
mean,
Is that
to be
Chipper
fair-
Smith? Chipper Smith doing that?
To be fair,
about how amazing
the
it is that Sean
animatronic at Disney World is Hillary Clinton that got turned into Donald Trump. So
That is
is
true.
accurate. Just
That
saying.
is true.
Because they thought Hillary was going to win, so they built the animatronic, and then they didn't really have that much time to.
Man, those
change it
dogs
to
are
Trump,
going
so they just kind of
crazy,
modified it.
aren't they? They're just always going crazy. Those dogs are insane.
All right, what do we got next?
Well, we got, let's see here. I mean, maybe we might be done here.
Are we done? Because, I'd like to go to bed. But that's just so anticlimactic to go on.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got some.
We don't have any other late night to watch?
We're just like,
Because all the ones are at 11, right?
We're a run too shy.
Wait, what about the internet? We haven't watched any Joe Rogan or any,
Only gonna
whatever.
pull up some Joe Rogan for a second, and then Fallon is in 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
So I guess we can look at that.
Yeah.
Actually, Rogan didn't really have an episode this week, though.
Oh.
But your mom's house. Your mom's house. Let's see here. What do we got here? We got some clips.
No.
Nothing.
No, I don't think so.
Everybody's just dying.
What about Tim Pool? What's Tim Pool doing?
Tim Pool?
Let's
Tim Pool. Yeah, let's see that.
He puts one out every day. What?
7 hours ago.
Wait, what was the name of that?
Oh, we'll know in a second here. It's called
Something about child sex change? Wait.
Matt Walsh. Okay.
Oh my God, that's too much. I'm sorry.
This is called Democrat support for child sex change backfires, sparking panic after Matt Walsh goes viral.
Expose goes viral.
Matt Walsh recently published an expose on Vanderbilt University's medical clinic that was providing child sex change surgeries. Now, apparently, the university did not deny anything, simply saying that there are parents involved that are consenting to this. I certainly think the issue is particularly complicated. There are questions about the expertise of doctors and the right way to help children. But of course, it's a particularly contentious issue in this upcoming midterms. And I think it's fair to say the average person does not support irreversible hormonal, medical, or surgical intervention for children. And we are seeing this with Glenn Youngkin's victory in Virginia. When parents started getting
Daily Wire is doing a lot
of their
of
children, and this was just
really doing the
ideology.
journalistic
Why is he
exposés of
reading
these
Daily
subjects.
Beast? Stop it, Thimble. All right. I think we're good now. I think we can go back.
Okay.
We can get the last.
That was like completely not like anything else we'd watched at all tonight. Though. That was
he was like transgenders.
You're like, wait, where did that come from?
What?
Jeez. Okay.
Okay.
It's 11:29.
Why are they all at 11:35? Why is that?
So the news can like run over. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why
They're
don't we
all at
come
11:45 or 11:35. Each one of them. Oh, you know what we can do? We can see who won the baseball game.
Yes, we can.
We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can see that the Red Sox won. Like anybody
or
cares.
maybe they didn't, Alex. Maybe
But
they
the
didn't.
Red Sox won. They did.
Resume
We'll just
from the last
fast
watch.
forward through this.
Let's wait for it.
Yeah. We'll just watch baseball all night now. So let's see what the score
Let's see
is.
what happened. 4 hours?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
4-hour game.
You don't need to watch this. 10th inning.
Oh.
They went into OT.
Oh man.
Oh man, this is crazy. All right, let's see what the let's see what the end of this is.
Somebody won. Somebody won.
So here we go.
I think it was the Yankees.
Okay.
The Yankees.
2 on base.
It was the Yankees.
No outs. Bottom of the 10th. Strike.
No. Chewing gum. That's still a thing.
Chewing gum?
Chewing gum.
I mean, if you're a baseball person, it is,
Why?
right?
Why? Because it gives you something to focus on. Like
I guess I don't know. You chew. I mean, Boston never loses, so they're not going to lose here. Okay. And
here
it comes.
Oh. I do enjoy watching baseball. Baseball's really fun to watch.
Oh,
that guy's not happy. They're really happy.
Yeah, and then they play the Frank Sinatra. Yep, see, they're playing Frank Sinatra. News. I'm leaving today.
I wanna be a part of it. New York. Oh, everyone's singing it too. Wait, is it at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, it's at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, of course.
All right, I think we
That must have been a great game.
Gotten closer.
Must have been a great game. My grandma's a huge Yankees fan, so she was probably really happy. She was like, that made her day.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, you know one thing that we didn't look at yet.
Shark Tank.
Kind of funny. No, this guy, because he's gonna get canceled in like a day.
Yeah, he's moving to morning news.
Moving to morning news.
So,
and he said it was an opportunity on this show last night.
Of course, it's always an opportunity.
We are living in the future. When you look at cancer death rates falling, I'm sure you remember back in the day when you had to have this whole host of cocktails for HIV. Now it's either a shot or a pill, and there is possibly a cure in the works. Same thing with cancer. I mean, we're living in the future.
We have to remember that when we are doing
I know
the
like
Debbie Downer
4
segments, right?
people,
I mean, we talk
3
about
or
a
4
lot of the
people
problems in
that
this
are
country.
dying
That
of
is
cancer
a
or have died of
beautiful
cancer
reality.
in the last like.
It's a beautiful
Ditto.
reality because we're living in the future.
Ditto.
And everybody,
But it's all.
we're in a utopia and nobody dies here.
Have a good one, Sarah. This is Don Lemon
Donald
tonight, and the former
Trump.
president's run of bad luck, well, it just keeps rolling along. Remember, rolling, rolling, rolling. Special Master has just about had it.
He's
with
lost
the
it.
legal
He's like, I don't care about the show anymore. I'm done. I am just coasting until the very end.
Lost it. Team Trump. Judge Raymond Dearie ordering the Trump team to back up his out-of-court claims that the FBI somehow planted evidence during their search of Mar-a-Lago. Back it up or put up or shut up, as they say. The search that turned up more than 100 classified documents. Now, the judge wants them to give him a sworn declaration with a list of specific items that they
We
claim were
already
planted.
saw this, Don Lemon.
And that's the
It's
thing.
already been reported.
This is about facts.
You're
It's
just-
about evidence.
So many
You
people
can't
have already
just
talked about
make
this
wild
before.
accusations
This is
in
boring.
court without a shred of evidence, even if that is your main
This
MO
guy's
out in
job
the
is
court
to
of
put
MAGA
people to sleep.
opinion. The judge also
And they send him over to the morning?
witnesses with
Maybe
knowledge.
Yeah, maybe you should stay here.
Former president.
He's doing a good job putting everybody to
He
sleep.
put that on and he just kind of like lull off.
By thinking about it, which is not a thing. Senate Republicans.
He just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, we just got fired,
We take it
basically.
very seriously. People can get hurt. People can get killed if it's not stored correctly.
Wait,
That
will you
information-
get killed? They will kill you if that is not.
I'll come to your fucking house and I'll kill you.
Follow the process. You follow that document.
Yeah, I don't care what the process is, but you follow it. I don't know what it is, but you'll follow it or I'll murder you.
Personally giving directions to generals in the
What?
field. That is, he calls up 300,000
That is
citizens.
crazy.
That is crazy with the whole Ukraine
Mobilization not
fucking
seen
Russia thing.
since World War II. And
Yeah, but
meanwhile,
why are we not
Russians who
covering
want
that?
to
Like, we're
avoid
covering Donald
mobilization
Trump's
crowd the
documents
border.
like it's
While the
fucking
families left
story.
behind say goodbye
When there's
to loved ones
300,000
they know that
Russians
they met.
leaving.
See, but here's the thing. The difference between Russia and the United States. Gotta pause that.
What? What is it?
Can you pause this so
Yeah.
we're not talking over?
Oh, okay. Because you just didn't want to hear it in
But
your
no,
ear. It's
the
already cut on the film.
The difference that between, I don't want to hear it on myself. The difference between Russia and the United States is they have a border. Like, you don't just see people like walking over. You know, if like the United States are like, oh, we're gonna call up a draft, and like all these people were like fleeing the country, you could just walk right over into Mexico. You wouldn't have to like go to. They have blockades. They have all this stuff.
Yeah, but I don't. I think in certain areas they probably do, but I don't think that they really. I don't think you can really have a strong border during a border war.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, like, I don't think the
Maybe
border's
not.
that.
But it just seems like
secure,
there's always check
but at least
marks.
they're trying, I guess.
I
I
guess.
don't know.
But like if you're leaving
They're not
the
sending them to
country,
Martha's
you're just
Vineyard,
gonna like
so-
walk out. What are they gonna do? Be like, I'm sorry, you can't leave?
Well,
I guess so.
yeah.
But then you're waiting in the normal line. You're waiting in the queue so they can say you're leaving. But like, why not just break through the line?
Stephen Colbert.
Are they gonna tell you no? Go back.
He's
in the
gonna
line
make us
and
laugh.
wait?
This is gonna be the funniest thing we see all day.
Conservatives, a new dating app called The Right Stuff, just might give you a chance to meet your true match. The app is created by our very own Kayleigh McEnany's sister Ryan. How cool is that? And it just might fill a need for conservatives who are single and ready to mingle.
The dating app is reportedly struggling to draw in young conservative women.
Oh no.
In an attempt to jumpstart membership numbers, The Right Stuff has released this new ad.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan. I gotta tell you about something I'm so excited to
They're
announce.
using her,
a
really.
dating app for all of us conservatives. It's called The Right Stuff. The Right Stuff is all about getting into the right dating pool with people who share the same
they're just
values
showing
and
the
beliefs
same.
as
Super
you.
long.
It's easy. Just scroll through all the eligible conservatives. Like Rudy. He believes in family values, and he proved it by marrying his cousin. Ted, you won't need birth control because the ex-president took his balls. Don Jr., he loves fresh powder, and he skis. Eric. Matt. Oops, actually he's not on this app. He dates on Venmo. So if you're a young conservative looking to amp up your dating life, download The Right Stuff today and have your heart
Should be OnlyFans.
stolen,
That's a
just
better
like
joke.
we pretend the election was.
He dates on OnlyFans. Not Venmo. Like paying prostitutes? No, OnlyFans is more trendy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson and Phil Rosenthal. Featuring Louis Cato and the
Oh my God! Look how progressive their band is.
And now,
They're so excited.
live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's
Oh my
Stephen
God! Wait, did what's his name leave the show? The guy that won the Grammy?
Yeah, he left.
He fucking dipped. He's like, bye, got a Grammy. See you later.
Yeah.
Now you just got a bunch of random black people. Oh
Give him
man,
another chance.
who is that guy? Not a Grammy winner.
Yeah, John Baptiste. He also,
Give him a chance. He's wearing a fucking mask.
What kind of fool am I? Good to see ya.
That's like the new one. The new guy. They just got like a new version. He's doing the same thing. He's just like.
Oh, his audience is
Very
masked
kind.
too.
You're
So.
too kind. Welcome to the Late Show, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, over the last 6 years, we've all had a lot of fun with the idea that nothing means anything, there are no consequences, tear up your history books and live in a cave. But occasionally, every so often, and this is one of those so offens, something means something. And meaning of any kind is kryptonite.
Okay, get to the point,
For
Colbert.
former President, the Count of Mostly Crisco.
What?
Long time.
This is this joke. Oh.
Longtime viewers of America will recall that last month the FBI went into Mar-a-Lago and found a bunch of documents that are super top secret, which is super top illegal. And the former president has desperately been trying to stall the investigation because he is super top guilty. Allegedly. We good? Lawyers
I
good?
missed the Colbert,
Okay.
like the Colbert
And
report.
right away, he
Where
got
he
some
was
help
just like
from conservative
trying to play
judge
a
and girl from the
conservative.
ring.
Yeah, that was
much
really good.
better than whatever the fuck.
Comparing
this is.
her to the Ring.
Eileen Cannon. Judge Cannon
ring girl.
appalled
Why?
the legal community when she
I don't
ruled
know,
the
'cause
Justice
she's
Department
for
could not
Trump
use the over 100
now.
classified documents
Otherwise,
found
she would be like
Mar-a-Lago
Hispanic
in their
progressive
But I
women.
thought she already
investigation
asked
of the
him to.
over 100 classified
Yeah, but
documents
she
found
was
at
appointed by
Mar-a-Lago.
him. So
I know, but
she
she's
has to
telling
be-
him that he has to
Yeah,
prove
but she's
stuff.
still evil.
Wait until those documents had been reviewed by
Still
something
evil.
called a special master, which she said would take until November 30th. November 30th. That would give the president way too much time to hide all the remaining evidence. I can imagine how he would stuff his Thanksgiving.
These jokes are just as bad as Gutfeld.
They are.
They're just as bad.
They're just the other
They're
side.
just as bad. I'm out. But that they're just as bad. And here comes Kimmel, because we gotta save Fallon for last, since it's the only one that has a bit of fucking sanity with no masks and actually laughing at Trump instead of wooing the black lady.
I don't know.
Crazy. It's crazy. Like,
I still have my.
is
I
Jimmy
was
Fallon
checking
gonna
my
turn
mic.
conservative, or is he just gonna keep it quiet?
He walks a
He walks up there
downside.
live.
Oh, they wanted to make you know that Jimmy Kimmel is filmed in front of a live vaccinated audience
Yeah,
again.
it's all fucking California'd out.
Yeah. Who's that?
Don't know who those people are either.
We're old. But not really.
No, it's just people are garbage.
Like, it's not even the, like TikTok people.
Yeah, no, it's just like.
I would understand that.
Here's this person that ABC bought and put on here. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I've been bought by fucking Disney.
How come there is not a
Wait, let's see what it does.
It was a beautiful day here in
be
Southern
walking.
California, and made only more beautiful by the hammer of justice pounding down on our pumpkin spice ex-president.
pumpkin spice? Who's Crisco?
He's just mad at him. He's just mad at Trump. He's just come out here mad at Trump.
Broad allegations from the New York Attorney General against almost the whole Trump family. Later last night, an appeals court ruled that the investigation into the classified documents he hoarded can go on. That meant it was damage control time. And so
There's one person going,
and Nancy Pelosi's my girlfriend, and What was that?
Trump claims he
You gotta pull it back. Hold on.
declassified
This guy's
documents
screaming
FBI
some
found
more
at
stuff.
Mar-a-Lago using special powers no one imagined any human ever had.
What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify.
I'm pretty sure someone just
by
screamed
saying,
Trump won.
It's declassified, even by thinking about it.
Another guy screamed, Trump won!
What you got?
Using the power of his mind, he can declassify documents. What he does is he puts a candle in an Egg McMuffin, makes a wish, blows it out, and the documents become declassified. Hocus pocus.
By thinking about it.
Sean Hannity really outdid himself here. He had no follow-up to that. His
the
approach is basically,
process
show
for
me on the
declassifying
goal where the
documents?
FBI investigated you. Trump has moved the goalpost so far now, they're not even in the stadium anymore. Let me just recap his arguments about these documents here. First, he claimed the FBI planted evidence. Then he demanded the FBI give back the evidence they planted, which makes no sense. Then he claimed he had a standing order to declassify any documents he took out of the Oval Office, which was confirmed by no one who worked for him, because there's a formal process for how you declassify documents. So now Donnie Cochran's new argument is that he can close his eyes and magically declassify just by thinking about, like Harry Houdummy, he's able to make things happen. And if Trump actually had the power to change things.
Oh, there is a process. What's
just
the process?
By thinking about him, Don Jr. would have turned into a Big Mac 30 years ago. And by the way,
We're making the T-shirt. We're selling it. It's going to be down below on our YouTube, on our Instagram.
We're going to sell it. What's the process?
Next week, when you see
watch
the show,
permission,
you'll see a little buy icon.
What's the process? What's the process?
For your T-shirt to find out what the process is with us. If you are in the middle trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here, everybody's just saying yes, no. I'd like to know what the process is.
I think they took my will. I found out yesterday. I said, where is it?
Am I in it?
I think they took my will. Could cause a lot of problems.
No.
That could cause a lot of problems if that gets published from people that won't be so happy, or maybe
Did you call Melania malaria?
Yeah, it would cause a lot of problems because you'd have to explain to Eric why he's not in it. And where are the tax returns he promised? Is that audit still going on? Trump may have damaged himself bigly in this interview. He seems to have admitted to things he had no reason to admit to, but when he's on the stuff he's throwing out there, this one might be the craziest idea he's ever had.
Oh, that was my thought. I was like, that's where I would have gone with it. I was going to make that joke.
A lot of speculation because of what they did, the severity of the FBI coming and raiding Mar-a-Lago. Were they looking for the Hillary Clinton emails that were deleted, but they are around someplace? Were they looking for the spying on Trump? No, they may be saying, they may have thought that it was in there.
Okay.
Huh? The FBI came to his house looking for Hillary Clinton's emails that were deleted, which, how could there even be emails if they were deleted? And how would they get into his house? Did Hillary sneak in after?
That's my favorite part of that whole thing, is when they're like no, you're not saying you have them. Hannity being like, whoa, let's back up here. You don't have the emails. Why would Trump want us to think he had the emails?
See, the thing is, I thought at first that he was being rhetorical. I thought he was being like, were they looking for those? Did they raid her place?
Yeah. No, but then he was like being like, you guys should speculate that I had these emails the whole time.
Oh, hey, opening this is Marco Rubio ad.
Left will destroy America if we don't
Here,
stop
Florida
them.
at least.
They indoctrinate children and try to turn boys into girls. They allow illegal aliens and drugs to flood America. And if you speak out, they ban you on social media and they call you a racist.
Banned and racist.
Congresswoman Val Demings, she supports all of this. She votes with Nancy Pelosi 100% of the time.
Floridians hate
I'm Marco Rubio, and I approve this message because
but also, he can't even do the text right. Bro, get some fucking get some fucking border on your text.
He needs to steal what Toyota of Orlando does. I got the dog in the background.
Jeez, man. All right, our last one. Last one.
Yeah.
We started with Fallon. Or no, we started with Noah, but then Fallon, and now we're
we
Fallon.
full circle.
Full circled it. It was definitely the most interesting point of the night. Was talking about the
audiences
of these audiences, and I want to see it again. Watch him mask him up again. No, they're just not going to show it.
No, they're
They're
gonna
gonna
show it.
no, they're not gonna show him. They're really just not gonna show him.
No, they gotta turn it around. They gotta show it. Do you think he's wearing? He's bearded?
No, look. None of them are wearing masks, but they're not showing them.
No.
Because they don't want to make it look different
they
than the
are
other show.
showing masks, but they don't want to show the audience back home that they're wearing the masks because his audience are people that vote for Trump.
No, they're not wearing the masks. They're not wearing masks.
No.
3 days ago, they stopped wearing masks in the show.
Really?
This week, yeah. The night before, and they showed it on the show the night before.
Because his audience.
And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh fuck! All these other ones aren't
I
yet."
saw Harry Styles last night. We were all there together.
That's crazy.
We
They're
all
showing
went together
it.
as a group. I was just thinking, so I go and it was unbelievable. I got great seats and everything. That was very nice of Harry and all that stuff. So I went, and it's just hard to look cool when you're my age at a Harry Styles concert. And you're in the front row and people are looking at you and stuff like that. So he's playing and he's awesome. It's a great show, by the way. So go see it. And he's good. And so I go, I'll get into this. So I'm like that, you know. And then I'm like, oh, this is really lame. I guess this is worse than I normally dance. So I go, I'm not gonna really. So then I started going like this for a while. And then I was like, that's even weirder. I don't know what's happening. Then I go, maybe clapping.
There wasn't
was good.
really any news,
So
so
Mike
you just
will
did a
give me
good, funny monologue.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, this is 2 minutes clapping.
He
I'll
just
clap too
started
fast.
just
I'm
making-
like,
Yeah, he's like,
not
I'll
even
just do
talking
it.
about it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna do 5 minutes.
double clap goes, all right, no clap.
He's
Then
a
I go,
comedian.
This.
But he can't do the
He's
joke.
a real comedian.
But he can't do the joke about Trump.
Right.
Because his audience are people that.
Yeah, they'd be like, okay, whatever.
Might as well enjoy it. I'm just gonna have fun. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so just do some dancing. And don't show your audience because the other shows will be offended.
Yeah. Wow.
We got
But
blood orange here
none of them
tonight.
were wearing masks. It's
None of
crazy.
them. Wow.
Also, guys, today is officially the first day of fall.
Yeah, they're not even like cutting it anymore.
They're not going to cut to the audience at all.
You can tell it's the first day of fall because I walked into CVS today and I heard this.
And these are good jokes. Okay.
Let's get to some news.
Okay,
everyone
he's
was
talking
talking
about
this
that.
last night. Former President Trump was interviewed by
Yes, he
Sean
did.
Hannity on Fox News, and when Hannity brought up Trump's claim that he declassified the documents found at Mar-a-Lago, Trump gave a very interesting explanation. Take a look at this.
Is there a process? What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
There's some groans though.
Hannity was like, oh, I get it. You're going to plead insanity. Okay, now it's making sense. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis was watching at home going, well, I guess we got to start printing those campaign posters. Here we go. I felt like he was this close to using the word abracadabra. Did you when Trump was talking? Trump also suggested a pretty interesting theory on why the FBI searched his house in the first place. Listen to this.
Because of what they did, the severity of the FBI coming and raiding Mar-a-Lago. Were they looking for the Hillary Clinton emails that were deleted, but they are around someplace? Were they looking for the
Wait,
spying
you're not saying you had it.
No, they may be saying, they may have thought that it was...
At that point, even QAnon people were like, okay, that's a little nuts. That's a little much for us. You got to give Trump credit, though. He knows how to say something so crazy that it actually makes the last crazy thing he said seem normal. Do you know what I'm saying? Trump had a lot to say about the search of Mar-a-Lago, including something the FBI took from him. Watch this.
They took a lot. I think they took my will. I found out yesterday. I said, where is it?
Am I in it?
I think they took my will. Could cause a lot of problems.
No.
The FBI was like, oh, you mean the piece of paper with the Sharpie treasure map? Yeah, we did. A minute later, Melania handed it back. Was like, sorry, I was just checking something. We're all good. Switching gears, tonight on Amazon, there was another Thursday night football game. And apparently Amazon,
Football audience.
Apparently Amazon has a policy not to show ads for alcohol.
Oh.
Which means there are no
What?
beer commercials during their football games. Now, I don't know why Amazon does that, because drunk people ordering stuff on Amazon is 90% of their business. Speaking of football, there's so many games to keep up with this weekend, so I want to take a moment to look at this week's big matches and take some picks. It's time for tonight's show, Weekend
I'm
Football.
enjoying it. I feel like this is my favorite late night show. I don't know. I feel like him and Trevor Noah.
Yeah. Trevor Noah's coming back a little bit. Trevor Noah's audience, though, is very libbed out. They're the same audience as Stephen Colbert, and you can see why, because Stephen Colbert it's the carry-on of it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Trevor Noah and Jimmy Fallon are actually comedians.
They're actually funny.
And
maybe
the
that's
other
part of
people
it.
aren't really trying to be
They're
comedians.
political commentators.
Yeah, they're
like
trying
definitely
to tell
Colbert,
you how to feel.
Definitely Colbert, definitely Gutfeld as well. I mean, he tries to be funny.
Are both trying to tell you how to feel.
Yeah.
And that's never funny.
That's never
You
funny.
can't walk on stage and be like, oh, okay, so we all agree this crazy thing happened, right? No, well, then you're
And just Jimmy
you're
Kimmel's
losing it.
just too LA to be anything.
Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian that's in LA. That's what it is. It's like, oh, instead of telling jokes today, I'm just going to come out here and be upset about Trump because we're all upset, right? None of us can handle a joke tonight, right? And then everybody in LA is like, yeah, you're right.
That's exactly what it is.
It's just like, because he's like being a comedian, but he's just like not telling jokes. He's just like mad that he has to like be a comedian. He's like, it's so upsetting to be a comedian right now. But I still say, go see the race through the New York with Jimmy Fallon in Orlando. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Also
and
check out.
It's a great fucking show. Jimmy Fallon is definitely the king of late night in my opinion. But
Yeah. Even though I did make a dig in against Jimmy Fallon in our latest ego sketch called OG Universal Protest.
Oh yeah, we talked about the ride. You guys should check that out over on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The OG Universal
I did
Protest,
take
as
a
well
dig
as
at him,
the full
but
episode
still like
of our hurricane, of all hurricanes.
Hurricanes of all hurricanes.
Which is kind of, it'll be trending in the next 2 weeks when we literally get hit with a hurricane because of the karma of releasing the episode, making fun of
guys.
hurricanes.
We did it. We caused the hurricane.
We did it. It's been great. It's been great seeing the audience grow on YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you guys
on
for
Instagram,
continuing to
on
watch.
TikTok.
Yeah.
And
should we say smash that like button or subscribe button or
I don't know what they're listening on. Like I said, some people are listening on Alexa.
Oh yeah.
So if you're listening on a round device, tell the device to listen to more of us.
Tell the device thank you.
If you're on a visual device,
you
need to navigate your ass towards more of our content over at MV Pictures, MV.Pictures, and look forward to our app that's launching
pretty soon. It is being developed as we speak. There are
by
elves. There are elves behind the scenes doing it.
By the finale episode of this show, the week after the election, we will definitely be most likely live.
Definitely, most likely. That's a contradiction,
Alex. I was
Wait,
just modeling
soon.
Trump.
Okay, soon. We don't have a specific date yet. But
this was an interview with Hannity. I was just, pretending.
We'll definitely launch by December 1st, the latest. But we're really hoping that we can get launched earlier. So we'll see.
And with the dogs going off in Tampa,
we'll call this a
we'll
night.
call this a night. Remember, if you have declassified documents and you use your mind, and no one told you how to classify a document, is it declassified?
Is it declassified?
It's like the tree.
And what is the process? What is the
forest.
process?
What is the
What is the
process
process?
for declassifying a document?
We want to know.
We want to know, and we will be selling t-shirts until we find out.
Boom.
Good night, and see you next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get some awesome footage with this season 2 of January.
And hopefully we're not in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah, that would really suck. But
when we're filming this.
Hopefully, we're just talking about season 2 of J6. All right, later.
Bye, guys.